Wine is a mocker, beer is a brawler, and whoever staggers because of them is not wise. Proverbs 21.
Okay. All right. We got a special episode tonight. The clubhouse is open. The audio might suck today, but who cares? Because we have two special guests. We have my son, Jeff, who's here from Oklahoma, and we have semi-regular star Nolan Jolly. We need to figure out the equivalent. You've got to be some equivalent guest that Johnny Carson had like every couple months.
I'm a friend of the show.
Well, you're a friend of the show.
He's Justin Timberlake for Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the Justin Timberlake friend of the show. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. Still getting used to the time zone change, but otherwise pretty good.
Those 2 hours will get you.
Yeah.
Familiar. Good. Been hanging out at my parents' house this week. My dad's up in Sacramento. And my mom's in Denver. And
There's music on there.
And yeah, that's hanging out with Poncho. I've been watching Banshee. If you haven't seen it, I'm not sure I recommend it.
Oh, Banshee.
It's like a 10-year-old kind of cop show.
The white supremacist comes into town looking to be a sheriff, and then the first episode you find out that the sheriff is just some dude who killed the sheriff.
Yeah, that's like season 3, though.
I
feel
swear
like
that
I've
was
seen
season
this.
1, episode 1.
Season 1, episode 1 has nothing to do with the white supremacists.
Oh, yeah, fair. My bad.
The white supremacist is like season 3.
Spoiler alerts after the fact.
But yeah, no, episode 1 is... The whole show is following a guy that...
I'm sorry, are you guys missing syllable in white supremacist?
White
Probably.
supremacist?
Is it white supremacist or white supremacist?
I think it depends on who you're
I
talking
think the judges will accept either one.
I don't know. I just like, it's like when people say library and then they say library and you're just like, did you miss something there? I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying like, am I
I mean,
wrong?
you're the English teacher.
I'm just like, am I wrong? Like, I don't know.
I'll say
You're
this.
the doctoral candidate over here.
I never majored in
Not in
English. I never majored in English, and the agency I have to write reports for has a
I have no problem with it. I have
constituency basis that has
I have no qualms, but both of you said white supremacist, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm the one that's wrong.
I very well
was
could
white
be wrong.
supremacist.
The average
There
reading
you go.
age for my
No,
constituency group
it's
is
white
8th grade.
supremacist.
All right, whatever. We didn't have to get to the bottom of it.
I've heard it both ways.
It could have been. I've heard it both ways in this room.
I blame that I went to Western on this.
And I went to Mission Oak.
There's definitely white supremacists. I mentioned that.
Yeah, for sure.
White supremacists at Mission Oak and cocaine dealers at the private Christian school.
And Mission Oak.
No, doesn't surprise me. All them pixely kids got to get through school somehow.
Oh, it's the country boys.
So Banshee, your favorite? Not your favorite.
It's okay. I'm pot committed now,
Oh, there you go.
but so I'm gonna see it through. There's just a lot going on at all times on the show. There's a lot of storylines that it kind of jumps between,
Yeah.
but I got nothing better going on, so I'll watch that.
Nice.
Just got through Landman.
Did you watch?
Late to the party, but just got through it. It's pretty fantastic.
What'd you think of that last episode?
So I like how they ended season 2. I will say when you and I were talking on Friday or Thursday, you said something to the effect of it's not, you didn't say it's not great. It's just the writing's not as tight as Yellowstone.
Correct.
There's a lot of rushing things to move the plot along that I think get rushed, and it's a little clumsy. But because everybody who's in the cast is really good, and the writing, it still has those moments where someone says something profound about life or something.
It's got strokes of brilliance.
Yeah, but the plot itself is very clumsy, and there's a lot of rushing to things that are like, no, we haven't played that out yet. So
there's a lot of
very, like,
setups
punches.
that don't get a payoff.
Yes. And then there's just big moments that all of a sudden just kind of blow up, and you're like, I don't think that would have happened within an afternoon, but whatever. Okay, we'll move past that. So where Yellowstone was very methodical in most ways, where it would just like plod along, and then you knew where it was going. And in this show, I guess that adds to the difference, because you don't really know what's going on episode to episode. You're like, oh wow, okay, guess we're doing that. So
Yeah, the whole thing, season 1 and 2, I think, is within a 2-month.
yeah, which is ridiculous, but it's a nice it provides a nice, entertaining roller coaster, even if it's not.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable watch.
Realistic in a lot of ways. So, anything else?
Closing.
I'm doing good. I'm going to Disneyland this weekend.
Fun.
Sweet.
Yep, should be a good time. 3 days in the park. Have a good time. I get to have 2 fun weekends in a row. I got Disneyland this weekend, and then next weekend I am home alone. Gonna have a great time.
And come to Kauai.
That's right. You're going to come to Kauai.
Yeah, we'll see. The plan is to go to. Well, the plan was to go to Kauai, but I accidentally missed my supervisions. So.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, so school contracts requires that teachers have to give up. They have to do 2 sports supervisions within the year, or 2 supervisions. So I could go to dances, I could do whatever, blah, blah, blah. I missed my 2. They were like 2 weeks ago. And I remember watching people walk to the baseball game as I was getting in my car. And I was like, oh man, I feel like my supervisions are coming up. And apparently that was the game that I was supposed to be at. And so there was only 2 other baseball games, or two games that we are hosting remaining, which is like, we have a softball game on the 7th and a baseball game on the 8th, both against Porterville. I was like, so I had to sign up for those, but you never know. Might see the athletic director and just be like, all right, and then just like disappear after that. So,
well, at the very least, clear your Saturday, because there's a Firestone takeover at Tap Yard.
Yes.
So you got to go to that.
oh.
He's already made plans for Saturday.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to catch a double feature at the movie theaters that Saturday. So I want to see Project Hail Mary, and then I want to see the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, you see the first showing at 11. You still have time to go. I think it's all day till 7 or something.
Till 10.
10?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, double feature.
There's no recliners in Visalia anyways. You're going to come to Larry for a movie theater.
I don't necessarily need a recliner to watch a movie. I'm just like,
on a double feature? Come on now.
no, whatever. Anyways, that's my plans for next weekend. So, but yeah, this is
also Project Hail Mary might not be in the theaters.
It's been like a month.
I mean, it was already out of IMAX 2 weeks ago when I tried to drive up to Visalia to go see it.
That's dumb.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
Fresno.
But I feel like it leaves IMAX first. It's got to make way for Mortal Kombat.
No, it made way for Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, good Lord.
What are they doing? The Galaxy now, aren't they?
I like the first Super Mario Brothers. I mean, you want to talk about fast moving story writing. Yeah, I was like, that was just like, let's throw everything, every gimmick that we know into this. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It's fun enough.
The 40 plus years of N64 to Sega to everything that involved Super Mario. Yeah, everything in one movie right now.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but yeah, enjoy it. So that, I don't know, maybe Project Hail Mary will be open. I mean, if not, oh well, Mortal Kombat. Then maybe Project Hail Mary, the movie, will be like The Martian for me, where it'll just be something that I want to watch eventually, but then just never get around to doing so.
You can also just, after you're done with softball again, come watch Project Hail Mary at Tim's house.
That's true.
You pirated. You swashbuckler, you.
It's a victimless crime.
What's the other? But if we wanted to talk about TV news, I don't watch TV at all. But the trailer for season 4 of Ted Lasso got dropped today, so that's good.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
It's on Apple?
It's on Apple. No, didn't see any Jamie Tart in the trailer. So I was like, oh, interesting.
There was a brief Roy Kent appearance.
Roy Kent and Keeley made appearances a couple times.
Looks like Beard's back as assistant coach.
Yeah, Beard. I don't know if he's going to be coaching the boys or girls squad as assistant coach, and then because it's pretty much emphasized that Ted's coming back to coach the girls. And so yeah, saw what
that should make for some very entertaining, funny, awkward
for sure
jokes.
Yeah, he already makes a pee-pee joke in the trailer.
Am I allowed to say that over here?
Pretty please is what it stands for.
Is that a phrase over here you're not allowed to say? Because over in the States, this means something. Yeah, that writes itself.
Yeah, there's gonna be some good comedy.
So does he bring the family with him?
I don't know. We haven't seen the family in any of the.
Or does he decide
he's going for Sassy Smurf? What are you talking about?
Or does he decides he actually hates his son and he doesn't need to move back?
Yeah, that's my question.
His son's better off without him.
I don't know how they bridged that gap.
It was a pretty big season, possibly series ender. So be interested to see how they patch that up. Maybe Dr. So-and-so proves out to be a better doctor, husband, and father. So Ted decides to leave.
Or Dr. So-and-so decides that he doesn't want Ted's kid around. And so...
Oh, he ships him to London. Well, that's a good one. I guess the wife doesn't have to come, just the kid. There you go. They can make Legos all the time. Build Legos. All right, first beer. We're going to be drinking, I think, all Firestone tonight.
Yeah.
Jeff and I stopped at Firestone. We went to the coast this weekend, took the grandkid to the beach. Is that the first time he's been to the beach? Like, actually, like him... Like, yes. I know you've taken him to the coast, but he hasn't been...
Yeah, that's the first time he's actually been to the beach, and he loved it way more than I thought.
Well, I wasn't surprised. He seems very... He has a very huge attraction to the water. So...
Even after that time, I almost accidentally drowned him, and my father-in-law's kiddie pool.
Oh, we stopped at Firestone on the way back to pop in and get some beer, and they had a really nice dude behind the little taster bar, and so he let us taste just about everything. Didn't charge us.
Nope. Nice.
So we came back with 3 crowlers of what they were pouring, and then I brought home a 6-pack, a 6-pack of an IPA, a 4-pack of a special IPA, and the Pivo pills. So we'll be drinking the crowlers for sure. And the first one we're drinking is the unfiltered DBA, unfiltered double barrel ale. So it's delicious. I don't know. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I enjoy it.
I like it a lot. It's what I've been ordering at a tap yard for 4 or 5 months, except for when they have Pinsky Files on tap.
Pinsky Files is really good. I wish that was readily available. Colton, do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a fuller body DBA. It's good.
I bet if you crank the ABV down on it, it'd make a great English mild style beer.
Oh yeah. Well, they should be capable of it because we do have a light beer that we're gonna try, and I don't know how they did it, but it's a voodoo. You got any trivia?
No, I didn't prepare anything this week.
All right, what are we gonna talk about tonight?
Whatever the hell we want. Welcome to the Go to Hell podcast, where our conversation just dies and goes to hell. Yeah, I thought we were just catch up. I feel like this could be as natural as we want it to go. I was like, I didn't have any. I don't know. We have Jeff on the show tonight. We have Nolan on the show tonight. We have the 2 of us on the show tonight. We haven't seen Jeff in a long time. I haven't seen Nolan in a month and a half.
It's the last time we were here. Oh wait, no, I came over your house.
I came over to my house during spring break. So that's been a while. You and I haven't seen each other in a whole week. So I don't know. I just figured we were going to shoot the shit. I was like, we can have a guided conversation that I'm assuming it'll go off the rails, as it does. No intention, but to kind of meander through and get to hang out and have some fellowship with one another. That's our Christianese word. If you want to go back and take a look at that one, you can definitely do that.
Well, for shooting the shit, are you on to Chili's with us tomorrow night?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. I'll talk to Danica.
I thought we were riding the Dente. What do you want?
Well, we should ride the Dente. Jeff probably wouldn't mind if we went to
Chili's one night?
Were we going to Chili's one night?
because their sponsored car won Talladega,
Oh.
and it was his first win at the Cup Series ever.
Yeah.
All right.
And he put on a show.
Single greatest celebration.
Single greatest series of left turns.
He's about 6'4".
4.
He's 6'4", maybe 6'5". He's tall. And so he figured out a way to sit on the windowsill of the car and touch
Grass.
the accelerator so that he can do a burnout while he's sitting in on the outside of the car.
Oh, wow.
There was talk of NASCAR banning it because it was unsafe, and I was like, that would be the dumbest thing ever. And they came out today and said, no, we don't have any opinion on that at all.
Yeah.
And then...
But yes, he was in the Ride the Dente car. Apparently tomorrow's your last day to get peach margaritas too, so
Oh,
don't want to miss out on those.
That peaches were in I thought they were like a summer fruit. Right?
I don't know.
That's just what Marie Callender's does their fresh peach pie. So
Kenny's got 2 peach beers of Kauai, so maybe not. I don't know.
we
bring back Phi or whatever, the peach sour.
No, not quite. It is a peach sour, but it's not fee whatever. It's not quite that good. It's very sour. I enjoy it, but the seltzer, yeah.
Inside Baseball, story behind that sour. That was supposed to be Ranch Hand, I believe. Or no, it was supposed to be Square Top. And something went wrong with the brew. They knew it while it was happening. They couldn't get the water levels correct. And so after he was done brewing, he transferred it and soured it in the kettle. And it was like, all right, now it's a sour. I'll figure out what flavor later.
That's a nice save.
Yep. It will sell it. But that makes me wonder, breweries that do a bunch of sours, is that what they're doing?
You're just bucking up beer.
We can't afford to dump it. Figure out how to save it. I don't like those Ducks uniforms.
Yeah, you don't like the orange.
I don't like orange. Just look like flyers.
That thing.
How's work going for you, Jeff?
It's going pretty good for the most part. It's been cool, calm, collected, except for that one Sunday a couple weeks ago where within an hour of shift we were fighting somebody over the pettiest of stuff. But yeah, other than that, I've been coming out on top. No new bullet holes, no bullet holes having to be put in people. So I'm living my life pretty good right now.
How high stress is your department?
And like
minute to minute, day to day,
minute to minute, day to day, it's really not that bad. It kind of comes down to how the individual copes with stress.
Your wife's in here. She doesn't seem to agree. Maddie, you have anything to say?
You're a liar.
So from the inside looking out, it's really not that bad. From the outside looking in, it's pretty bad.
It sounds like you're coming home stressed.
Sometimes. Yeah. So, I mean, good news is I'm moving up in the world. I got a field training certification, so I can train new guys now. Pretty soon here, I'll be getting what's called basic instructor, which is I can teach classes and give other people their continuing education credit. And I've also been made the number 2 on my shift, which means I can help approve reports and everything like that. So like on the personnel side, yes, stress is there. On the day-to-day, like what we do for our job, it's as stressful as you make it. If you get up to a guy and he's yelling first thing when you get there, if you let that get to you, yeah, it's going to be really stressful. But if you don't let it get to you and you're like, some dude's like, fuck you fucking piece of shit. You can either handle that as like, no, fuck you. Or you can handle it like I do, which is, hey man, thanks, but I don't swing for that team. And it usually defuses a lot of people really fast because they're like, wait, that's not the kind of FU I'm at. Like, I know. but now you don't know what to do. So just come over here and talk to me.
But you don't have to deal like on a regular basis the domestic violence, drug.
Those calls happen a lot in our area. We have quite a bit of domestic violence issues that are just like husband and wife yelling at each other, never anybody putting hands on each other. Now, I have had a couple recently that...
No, she just fell down the stairs.
yeah. I have had a couple recently that was like, no, I didn't do anything. It was like, okay, well, did you guys yell at each other? Yeah, we yelled at each other. Okay, what happened after you guys were yelling at each other? Well, I hit her in the mouth. I was like, okay, so you're going to fucking jail. Like,
Her mouth.
I had to tell her something twice.
I was telling her something, and she made her mouth hit my fist.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. She was yelling at me so aggressively and trying to push me away that my closed fist made contact with her face.
Comedian Tom Segura has a really great bit on that, Ben.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're there, and it might just be one of those things that I kind of like brain dump at the end of a shift. Like, I'll come home and I'll be tired. I'll be exhausted from the ups and downs on the adrenaline and stuff. But overall, I just, by the time I get home, I'm like, okay, that person's in jail. I don't have to worry about it for a couple of days. And then I get called to court, and I'll get mad because I'm on a night shift now, and court's usually at like 9 o'clock in the morning the day I get off work. So,
Win.
yeah.
Not going in.
Do you ever give traffic tickets and then just not go in for court?
I'm waiting for somebody to take me to court on one of my traffic tickets because I'm probably the most easygoing cop they're going to encounter. I had a dude, was it 2 weeks ago, roughly? One, I didn't even end up giving him a ticket, but the passenger got out of the car as soon as they came to a stop. And I was like, hey, you need to go sit back in the car. He's like, what she got to be in the car for? She's just trying to be at work. I was like, I understand that. But when I pull over the car, everybody in it's detained until I decide otherwise. Verify who the passenger is. Okay, you can go to work now. And then he popped off and yelled at me for literally no reason. I was like, my dad voice came out. I was like, what are you doing? There's no need for that. And then go back, handle all my stuff, make sure he doesn't have any warrants or anything. I come up, I realize, so I pulled him over because his headlight was out. I realized his headlight's out because he's been involved in a collision not too long ago. I was like, hey, I see why your headlight's out. Just make sure to get it fixed when you can. But trust me on this. I'm with the county. I'm not with the PD. So already you got a way more chilled out cop than you're going to deal with day to day. And second off, I'm probably one of the chiller ones that we have in the county. So yelling at me was going to get you nowhere but a ticket or jail. This is your learning experience. Have a good day.
How was he after that?
He was fine after that. I think he was still annoyed that he was getting talked to by the police, but
It's an annoying experience.
I'd take that over getting a ticket.
Yeah.
Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I won't do it again.
Yeah, right.
I've only been talked to the police twice, so. And the second time I got out of the ticket by playing dumb.
Oh, yeah. I just found out recently you can get arrested and still be a cop later in life. My dad was going through some old files of his and found my arrest report from when I was like 13.
Well, and it's funny. He was like, yeah, you can get arrested and still be a cop. Jeff, I don't think I texted you back because I had something I was going to text you back. Jeff was like, hey, looking to enter coaching down the road. I don't want to get into all your personal stuff, but I was like, he was like, looking to enter coaching down the road. What do I need to do to get certified? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, basically just don't diddle a kid between now and then and you're going to be A-okay. Yeah. There's like nothing really to it. There's no like, there's no qualifications, no trainings, nothing. It's pretty much, I mean, you're like, before like you get to the coaching, like the month before, you need to go take like your water safety, get CPR certified. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
You text me all that.
Yeah,
like, damn.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do all this fun stuff over the next month. I tried getting it set up for you. They said that it's they don't have home campus set up yet, which is the main website that you got to go through for all that stuff, for all our information that we got to turn in. I got to turn this stuff every year. I got to do CPR this year. Your CPR, like I said, your CPR training is going to be online. I tell kids all the time, I'm like, please don't put my online CPR certification to the test. I got to get it every 2 years. And I'm like, bro, you like, don't put it to the test.
Have you ever done it in person?
when I was a teenager for Boy Scouts. So, I mean,
that's all you need. You're fine.
I was like, I remember it. Well, I mean, actually, when I did it with Boy Scouts, that was back when you actually did mouth to mouth. You don't do mouth to mouth anymore. They won't train you on that. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, well, that's actually the hard part. Is that because it's the whole like, how much do you breathe into them without making them throw up? Like when they teach you the mouth to mouth, and you're like, golly, this is complicated. And you're like, so you have like the test dummy, and they're like, nope, you raised up their chest like too high. Like you can't just be like you gotta breathe a certain amount in there, and you're just like, the hell if I know.
You can't forget with some of the lawsuits that have come out, either you have to put all of your assets into a living trust so they can't sue you for everything you're worth.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want him to kiss me in the mouth. Well, that's not what he's doing, but okay, here's your money.
Well, and then like a lot of the EMTs will tell you that I've been told from EMTs is that because I had a friend who was one and then went to a party that had a bunch of them. They were just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. They're just like, yeah, odds are you break a couple of ribs, because they're just like, we don't care in that situation. Like we're just trying to save your life. And so we do the compressions, and several different times they break people's ribs while they're just out there doing the compressions and stuff. And you're just like, oh, no thanks.
Yeah, it's just how often I've been taught, if you're breaking ribs, you're doing it the right way.
Like,
unfortunately. Yeah.
To the beat of Staying Alive? Isn't that what it is?
Staying Alive, Baby Shark now. Pink Pony Club is one of the newer ones that came in.
I don't know that one.
You got to go, but that's his slow song. I don't know.
Apparently it's at 120 per minute, or within that range.
Just a Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, that's all you're saying.
Yeah.
Because, I think Stay Alive, the whole verse is very slow, and then...
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Is it?
You can't tell by the way that I use my will.
I feel like that's pretty quick.
Another one bites the dust.
That party, that party with all the EMTs.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I got an IV.
Yeah. No one got an IV by drunk people. Drunk EMTs are just like, hey, man, I could stick you no problem right now. And he's like, do it.
Yeah.
And then he woke up with a rash.
I was very concerned.
Intravenous STDs? Is that what we're going
to? Yeah.
Nolan got tapeworm from an IV.
I got a banana bag while I was watching American Sniper.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah. And I woke up the next morning feeling fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it worked immediately. I was ready to drive home. Nobody let me drive home, but I was ready to drive home that night. I was like, oh, I feel great.
That's why there's IV bars in Vegas and on the west side of Los Angeles.
It's nuts that they don't have a mobile IV truck set up in the fan zone.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like easy money.
Yeah.
And by easy money, I mean, I would do that on Sunday morning. That would be fantastic.
That was the cure-all for Marine Corps hangovers. When short stint I did there, I had one of them. And I ran a PT test. And I barely passed.
Nice.
We want to do beer number 2?
Yeah, works for me.
Go grab it.
Get the IPA
Which one?
Crowler.
Oh, and I got bad news for you. Like, we can toss this on the air. You might be coaching some games solo there this coming up fall. I don't know how many, or if there's going to be like a ton.
What?
Hey, you're going to be fine. We'll see what happens. You're going to be great.
What kind of conflict do you have?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, doctoral stuff.
Oh, like you have to go up there?
No. I got to be on call, or I got to be on the class or whatever. And so I emailed them yesterday, and I was like, hey, we need to talk about, I was like, I have a conflict for fall. I was like, I don't know when your guys' classes are, because they still hadn't given me that information about like what days of the week I was going to have to take classes. But I was like, I was like, we have games Tuesday, Thursdays. And so they're like, well, one of your classes is asynchronous in the fall, and then one is on Wednesday and one is on Thursdays. And I was like, crap. Okay, so we might have a few more morning practices than what we've normally had in the past, so good luck. So get ready for that. And then on top of that, there might be, but I worked it out with the professor. So they sent me the emails for the professors and I was like, hey, I wouldn't leave you high and dry, but.
By the time we get to, I don't know, what are we talking like?
Well, and it'll be late season. So
by that time, I'll be all right.
It'll be late September. And the good news, well, actually, I don't know if it is.
It'll be just in time for him to be out and me take him on a deep run into the playoffs.
That's right. That's right. I'll be like, I can't do it. Taking the rest of the way, man.
So unless somebody else wants to go, because the only two we have are the Cali Squeeze.
Oh, that's right. We have the Cali Squeeze. No. Put that back. That's right. I thought we got the IPA.
Yeah. So what do we want? Gen 10 or Little Legend?
No, that one. Yeah.
So this is, I felt sacrilegious comparing the two, but this is the one I said was like a Coors Light without the hangover potential because it tastes like a good all-day drinking.
It's 2.9%.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is amazing.
And it's got flavor. I don't know how they did it.
Shout out to Firestone.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gucci.
Shout out Gucci. Shout out
Gucci
my boy. Shout out my boy Gucci.
Gucci made me on the list.
Gucci made on the list, but Eminem not on the list.
Shout out my boy Gucci.
Who was number 1? Jay-Z. Number 3 was Drake. Oh, I thought Drake was going to be number 1. Eminem doesn't even make the list.
Eminem's on
Eminem? If you've never seen that little Wayne video, it's like a 10-second snippet of him just being asked about like rap all time.
It was somebody put out a list of the top 5 greatest rappers of all time.
I don't think it's top 5. Maybe it is. I don't know. And Lil Wayne is blown away by the fact that Eminem is not on the list.
And that Gucci man.
He's like, and he does it. He says a very particular word that we're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
It is great.
Shout out my homie Gucci.
Ooh.
Safe to say Gucci would have been in Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just say that Kanye West and Jay-Z are in Paris whenever. Students love to ask me that question. Mr. Pierce, do you know who's in Paris? And you always say Kanye West and Jay-Z are in Paris because they're the two people that make that song.
But what'd she order?
And then also if you say that and then you say, and they're going gorillas, they literally don't even understand the reference. And I'm like, bro, you don't even know the song. Get out of here.
Little Legend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. I mean, it's not amazing, but for 2.9, good Lord. It's drinkable.
Also, I like the prints that they have on these crowlers.
I got that.
The propagator print.
I started off getting a growler just because my wife thought the design was really cool.
Yeah, I like that they've settled now on they've got their logo streamlined to blue and gold. What else?
I'm officially an NCO in the Army now, and my first 72 hours was riddled with bullshit. It was,
that's how that works.
Yeah, it was great. The first 48 hours was just typical stuff. Everybody planning something and us not getting told till 5 minutes before it happened, and then getting canceled because they didn't make the right preparations for said planning. And then our way home, one of the juniors decided that they were going to wreck the government rental.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was safe. Nobody had to go to the hospital. But this is what happens when you take a 25-mile-an-hour exit at 90.
What?
Yeah. So it was, you've been to Tulsa before. There's a couple exits off of one of the highways, if you can remember it, where it's like 25 miles an hour because you're making a big, long loop to essentially go the opposite direction of what you're traveling.
Pigtail.
Yeah.
Corkscrew.
Yeah.
Corkscrew. Yeah. Well, they thought they were missing their exit. Turns out they had one more exit before they were actually in trouble. And instead of missing the exit and allowing maps to reroute them or continue them on their correct path, they decided to cut over a couple lanes of traffic and ended up in the ditch. Thankfully, the car was drivable, but
at least it's in Oklahoma. You can go off the road and not like hit a wall at 70 miles an hour. Very few
Fair.
exits in California have any room.
Mm-hmm.
You're usually hitting a building or a wall or some structure, but not ending up in a ditch or grass.
Yeah. So they ended up in a pretty good amount of grass, and then we're able to drive it off into a parking lot. So we actually had to do, me and my buddy that went out to go help, who's also a cop, went and did our cop thing and figured out point of impact and point of rest, which is where the accident occurred and where the vehicle ended up, and just shook our heads for the 20 minutes it took us to get back to base. It's awesome.
I mean, it's fun to go fast.
Yeah. When you know how to go fast, you know?
Better in a government car than your own.
Yeah. What's that old Michael Winslow skit? When you're in a rental, it's not mine. Yeah.
That's a Jeff Foxworthy bit. When he says, when they ask you if you want the extra insurance at the car rental, and you just look at them and say yes, but what you don't say is, this car is about to get more airtime than a rally car at the X Games. Yes, I want the extra insurance.
Yeah, I had some employees do that once.
I miss the X Games being televised. Those good days. Simpler times.
They're having a hard time just keeping them around. They need to get
I
them.
know. I was having this conversation the other day with my parents because my mom's been on this kick of like, this is why your parents are the way that they are. And so she's been like showing these videos basically of like, look at what Oma and Opa, which are my grandma and grandpa, and that's the names that they chose for themselves. They're Scottish, by the way, so then those names don't work, but that's what they wanted for themselves. But for grandparents, when you become grandparents, you apparently get to choose your own names. I don't know that feeling, but
Grandma, Grandpa, Nana, Mimi, and my real dad, I affectionately call him Beaner.
nice.
Yeah.
I was glad to be asked.
I have
I thought about it for a couple minutes. I'm like, Papa, that's good. I don't feel old enough to be grandpa or granddad or whatever. So
I believe my sister picked out my parents, which is very on brand for my sister.
I'm pulling for asshole. That's what they call me.
What do you want to see on the family trip today? Asshole.
That's right.
Nice.
Anyways, so she's like, look at what Oma and Opa did to us, like growing up. This is why we are the way that we are. But again, part of the conversation that I've had to have with my mother is like, you do understand that that's what makes your generation also unique and also, you know, the way that it is. And not in a bad way. It was like, there's good things that you got from this too. So like, she's like, look at how negligent my parents were, kind of thing. So like, there's all these videos about boomer parents being fairly
the whole latchkey kid thing.
Yeah, where it's just like, look, and like we are raising ourselves or whatever. And I was like, yeah, but you became higher risk takers at younger ages. So like things like the X Games, the reason why skateboarding took off and was able to become what it was, like if we're talking about it in the context of the X Games, which we were just talking about, is again, you don't have helicopter parents over here making sure that all these kids are like, they're like, no, that's dumb. Like, why the hell would you do that?
Right.
Here? These kids are out here trying to make entertainment for themselves.
Yeah, there's
and,
no
and they're
there's
just out
no
here
adult around to be like, that's a
pushing
terrible
the
idea.
boundaries of what you can do with this equipment. And it's awesome. And the reason why that's dying now is because, at least in the United States, the reason why it's dying is because there has now become this nurturing, which is not, again, it's not a problem. I'm not saying that it's a problem. It's just a shift, right? Like there's this generational shift where we now have it to where less and less kids are skating because they have higher risk aversion than generations before them, because it has been instilled in them to have high risk aversion.
Yeah.
So then how does that translate now into the workforce, right? You have Gen X who took a lot of risks. There's a reason, like there's reasons why Gen X is associated with creating some of these multi-billionaire, billion-dollar companies.
And wrecking the economy twice.
Yeah.
But then millennials are kind of in that in-between stage where it was, you know, they are not necessarily the innovators, but they were really good at kind of improving. On
They're
some
the
of those
managerial
ideas.
class.
Yeah.
They all have MBAs. They all went to business school and they know how to implement and
Yeah, and so, but right now what we have is we have this high risk aversion, high generation that's
high
coming
anxiety.
up, high anxiety group that's coming up where it's like, I don't know what the effects are going to be on the workplace, on, you know, on creativity, on lots of different things. And so I think that it's pretty interesting, and it breaks my heart that that's how the X Games is dying, you know, is that these are things that are now falling to the wayside. I hope that it'll swing, and I know it will. It'll go back, but for the time being, we're in a bit of a rut with extreme sports. It's kind of
How much do you think video games though contributes as well?
well, yeah. I mean, video games allow you to do
I guess part of that's
do all the fun
because
stuff and never leave your house. I mean,
and to your point, that makes mom and dad happy because then they get their eye on you and you're not out, and they have to keep your eye on you.
You're just saying the N word out to the internet. That's all you're doing. You're just in a Xbox Live party, just calling some 5-year-old the N word on a weekend because you just need to blow off steam on Roblox.
Well, yes,
I did it just last night.
there's always a balancing. There's different.
Oh, Tuesday.
It's a good stress reliever.
As you said, there's different opportunity costs. On the plus side, you're in the house, you're safe. On the other side, you're able to say all kinds of things you want to strangers on the internet. But then for some of you, then puts a scarlet letter on you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We are raising a nation of trash talkers that are really good at it, but they will roast you for days. Although it brings me so much joy. I'm creating trauma in my students, so they don't even realize it, to where they don't trust me anymore, because if my students ever ask me the word who, if they ever say who, I will always say Joe. And they are literally now, don't say it. Don't say it, because too many times at the beginning of the year they go, "Who's Joe?" And
Joe Mama.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing ever. They get so mad. So I'm causing trauma for my students at one step at a time, and that's the cleanest joke I could probably make in a classroom with the name game. So I thoroughly enjoy it.
That's what I'm having to prep myself for coaching. Is I got to start cleaning up.
Nah. Coaching's a whole different beast.
I don't know.
Coaching you get away with.
You should have heard some of the locker room talks Hodge gave us when we were really messing up. You probably are okay.
Football is bad. And football, I don't know. The hard part with football is football's allowed to be football. So if our cross country coach is doing what the football coach is doing, there would be problems. But there's something that's allowed, people.
Well, part of it's because in order to play football, that you have to be sort of in this state of anger to be really good at it. Particularly, but it depends on the position. But on defense,
I'm sure.
And it was something that I figured out, frankly, after I played. It was very disappointing to me, and I didn't have a coach that told me that. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why really good NFL players look like they're one screw loose, because, well, they are, but also you can get yourself wound up to that, to just you got to be semi crazy, run through people and all that kind of stuff. So
and all the head trauma.
The language lends to it.
Yeah, I want you to read what's his name's book before we get started next in the summer. The Baltimore Colt guy.
Oh, Dungy's book?
No, the Baltimore Colt.
The quarterback?
Airman? Tommy Airman? No, is that who it is?
I don't know.
No, he was wasn't he on the line? I think he was on the line.
I don't know.
He's a part of that Baltimore Colts.
He was part of that Unitas team.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
And anyways, he started a nonprofit organization in Baltimore that was and working with inner city Baltimore kids on how to be footballs, but how to, it's really, their emphasis was how to be a man and what does that mean? That kind of stuff. It's really great. His backstory is horrific. He has an abusive father growing up. It's called the Inside Out Coaching, I believe is the name of the book. And then, so he has an abusive father that basically tells him that he needs to be a man. He has the toxic masculinity background. Yeah, Joe Ehrman. And then when he's 10, he gets gang raped as like, it's a wild story. So he grows up in Buffalo, and there's like it's him and like a bunch of 10-year-old boys that are all hanging out, and a little girl walks by. She's like 6 or something. And the 10-year-old boys all yell at her to lift up her skirt or something as she's like walking by, and she's just like, bah, and like shows her panties, I guess, and then continues walking, but they don't like think anything of it. Her dad comes with a friend to the park after hearing about this from his daughter, and then finds the boys, and all the boys are able to get out, but Joe is not. And so him and the friend take him into like a shed, and then rape him, and then piss on him, and then leave. And I'm like, that's the most horrific thing. And he kept it with him, never told anybody because of the toxic masculinity background that he was a part of. Doesn't tell a soul until he gets married, and his wife breaks him down when he's like 32 years old, and he finally shares it out loud.
Sorry, I have to make a joke. That's the quintessential Anchorman. Wow, that escalated quickly.
So quick. Golly, I was reading about that, and I was like,
wow.
Holy fuck.
We took this to 12.
All right. Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure anyone learned he learned what I don't think that's how you're supposed to. Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he talks about like how much therapy he had to go through as like an adult, where he like basically like blocked it out from his memory, but then channeled that into toxic masculinity for himself. And so I'm like, God, that's awful. But then really, how do we recover from that, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. And he talks about being with the Colts and being addicted to drugs and the party scene and that kind of stuff. And then he finds God, and then through that he goes on to become a senior pastor of a church.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Did you know Marcus Mumford put out a solo album?
I had heard about it. I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay. So the first song on the album is about when he was like, I think it's 10 on the nose, and he was molested.
Damn.
And he never told anybody. And then he wrote the song and shared it with some people, and everybody's like, oh my God. A, traumatic. B, fantastic song. And he's like, well, my mom doesn't know, and I don't know what to do. So he went and just played her the song without any context.
Yeah.
And then the second song on the album is about the conversation they had afterwards.
Oh, wow.
It is nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think that I think it's so tough in our world that we live in, and it's kind of one of those things where I have kids that ask questions, and especially with being a coach, you have lots of toxic masculinity that exists. And it's just something that's a part of our culture. And people don't really realize that it's toxic, or that it's causing, and the reason why I say it's toxic is it's actually causing harm to these men that are having this facade or this image that they're having to present to other people, and completely ignoring some of these incidences or whatever. And so it becomes, it's brutal. And I think it's causing issues for our country and for young men all around the place. And as much as people talk about that, there are all these closeted gays, right? And like, they're like, how many people are closeted, and that we don't know that they're actually only 7, like the LGBTQIA plus community makes up 7% of the population of the United States. How do we know that it's not more because of all of this pressure that's around, that people won't come out or whatever? But also, I mean, I think that there are so many men that are not willing to share about some of the horrific things that have happened to them in their past, because of this idea that you got to be macho, you got to be this, you can't have problems. If you have that kind of problem, you don't say anything, you don't do anything about it. Like
the limited experience I have with the homeless, and I'm not talking just like personally, but even just like reading books and seeing people who deal with them on a regular basis and on a healthy basis. They're not doing it from some like cartoonish, like Gavin Newsom. There's not enough housing, or they're all drunks, or they're all like. Just go with that one. The standard view that most people have, and I understand why, because they're seeing the symptoms.
Yeah,
they're not seeing what's caused it. They're all crazy, or they're all addicts. I would say most men, that's probably the number reason why. There's some kind of like physical, whether it just be beating or sexual or some kind of abuse that originated in the house. And it creates this severing. And I would say even with all the Me Too stuff that went too crazy, I still even then I would say on the female side, we haven't even reached a healthy way to deal with that either.
Well, and so
it got turned into this like performative thing where women are like, oh, I just, I got, someone told me that I looked like this. Like, no, we're not, that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with like actual shit that's happening that is, as we've talked about on here, just leading to just generational destruction and multiple generation destruction.
Well, and so what Joe kind of talks about in his book is that sports for a long time become this outlet for this toxic masculinity where it's like, okay, like I can get this out of my system, I can exert myself, but then, and that's great, that can be a step, but then how do we then see a human and bring them apart and, say that, hey, you're more than just this thing, and we allow this to be a restorative relationship for us and for them while they're within our program. Because he went to school at Syracuse with what's his name, the big Syracuse football coach that was known for just being a drill sergeant, and he's like ex-military too. He's the one that won the championship with Syracuse, right?
Was he there when the running back was there when
Heisman guy was
Brown?
Yeah.
I don't remember who the name of the coach was, but yeah, he was really good.
Yeah,
all those Pennsylvania and New York coaches were like that. It was all basically like psychotic military drill sergeants.
Yeah, and so he had that, and it was awful. But then he said, I think it's his senior year of college where his coach no longer could have a say over him. He goes and he plays lacrosse. So he's going into the NFL draft. He's going to do that, but he's like, I'm going to go play lacrosse.
I think Brown did too. Brown did as well.
And the head lacrosse coach totally changed his perspective about what sports could be.
Huh.
And he talks about him as being one of the most restorative people that he's ever had in his life. And so that's a really cool thing. And then he forgets about it when he goes into the NFL and joins the party scene and all that kind of stuff, but then comes back and eventually that's what inspires him to then go on to be a pastor and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Jim Brown played. Can you imagine playing lacrosse against that guy?
Yeah,
good Lord. Like running the other way. Yeah, football way too long had and it probably still does in parts of the culture, but it was even when I was coaching, you'd come across these old crusty guys and they were just, even in my early 20s, in the early 90s, just like, dude, what era is this? Like, what are we doing? This isn't football. This is something else. So, and then, you had the dude from the Penn State assistant coach who was raping dudes. I think that's another one of those that it got a lot of coverage, but I think it kind of broke people in a way that we don't really talk about because, that's, what are you going to talk about? Sandusky is like,
this is a great segue to Nolan's video. I was like,
well, and then but it is a good segue, but we've slowly, there's been more and more stories coming out of that same kind of thing happening at colleges where there's some dude who's diddling up, and you're like, what? It's not sexual. It's purely emotional. It's like a dominance thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got to be if you're like some old dude or, you're a coach and you're some fit football player. It's like, you're not doing it. It's a guy who's got a predatory mind and he knows how to take advantage of it as being a coach.
Yep.
Which is a good segue to Nolan's video, which we can talk about. I don't want to stop. I'm going to pause it though. We're going to take a break. Okay, we're back. Beer number 3. Who wants to do beer number 3? Colton.
Oh, yeah. We are drinking the Firestone Gen 10 West Side IPA. It's a 7.3 ABV. Live from the Propagator, Venice, California. So brewed in their Venice location?
Yeah, shout out to the Venice location.
Great
It's
location
awesome.
if you ever get a chance to go.
It's awesome.
Can't recommend it enough.
Big fan of Venice Beach in general. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it used to be the artist. It used to be the artist spot in
very
LA.
much so.
It's great. They got a great skate shack over there.
Yep.
So great skate scene over there as well.
Yeah, but modern skateboarding basically got invented between Venice and Santa Monica. So
Del Mar too.
Well, they were a little bit before, but Dogtown Boys. Yeah, it does have a nice art flavor to it. And then it also has the actual, if you haven't been to Venice, if you do go to Los Angeles, you've never been there before, do pop into Venice because of what you talked about. And then they do have actual canals in a couple neighborhoods.
Yep, they did. Yeah, and again,
It was a straight up, I mean, it's named that. It was created by a dude in like the 20s or 30s, and it was a straight up just reinvention of Venice.
And it used to be poor people Los Angeles. Like, it was like the poor beach town where it was like all these struggling artists would go there and just like that's where they would all camp out. And now it's, become what it is. The Muscle Beach became famous down there, that kind of stuff. They do sandcastle building competitions there, that kind of stuff. So it's so great. It's lively. It is lively.
It is lively.
You could see some stuff down there. But, but all in all, it's great.
White Men Can't Jump was filmed down there.
Yeah, that's right.
The original or the new one?
The original. Is there a new? Oh, there is a new one. Oh, and I did see that one. It was actually okay.
Is there a new one?
Yeah.
It is. It's with the.
It's got Jack Harlow.
Yeah, Jack Harlow.
I don't know who Jack Harlow is.
He's a white rapper that thinks he's black.
Pretty much.
There's a whole thing going on about his lazy.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sorry.
He named it Monica.
Oh, yeah. This is I know who this is. Yeah, mainly because of the Monica thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's interesting. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about with Monica, there's speculation that he named it Monica because if you say it fast enough, it sounds like you're saying mine. So there you go. You can figure that out for yourself.
Yep.
He passes as a basketball player in the movie, so it's all right. It's not the worst remake I've seen lately. That thing's like 5 years old too, I think.
There's lots
been
of
a while.
remakes lately. Like you don't have to go far for that.
No.
I think it's all we're doing right now, isn't it?
Oh, speaking of, have we all heard about
Remakes or sequels?
Yeah, they're remaking Harry Potter and they're putting it into a series version, but you've heard the controversy behind that, right?
That there's a black Snape? Is that what
there's a black Snape, and it's canon in the books that when kids used to bully Snape, they would hang him from trees.
That they would hang him from... Wait, what do you mean?
They would hang Snape from trees.
Oh, yeah, and you're talking about...
And Snape is now being played as a black person.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
Well...
Also, he's the only, teacher that Harry doesn't trust, and that gets a little fuzzy.
Well, now we're that's like
chosen
Star
one.
Wars.
I don't understand.
Star Wars
those
kind of racial.
I don't know why you guys are. I don't know why anybody's appalled by this. If you didn't think that the UK was fucking racist, then you're.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
how
then you're
can they be
on
racist?
crack.
They banned Wicked, or they made Wicked put disclaimers for
They-
green skin phobia.
We all still remember when they all started doing their initiative where they take a knee for racism before the start of every Premier League game. The fans booed the fuck out of the players taking
This
a
is
knee.
also
And all it was like literally they just like went to a knee for like 2 seconds and like the match still started on time. Like it wasn't like it added anything or took away. Like it's just players out there, no political message, nothing. They just all take a knee, stand up, and booed the fuck out of it.
It's like Boston on steroids.
I don't know. That makes them
Fucking
racist. That just makes them. They just have much patience. They want to get the match started. That's all
That
it
didn't
is.
change anything. If anything, it put the players out on the pitch sooner. Like, what the heck?
like, oh, this is a bad idea. Let's play.
They're like, I wanted to eat my meat pie in silence for a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like they're drinking in the stands.
They're not allowed to. Like, what the hell?
And we're worse off for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with England. We don't have one of these. We don't lose 5 or 6 fans every 10 years to a fight and fans getting crushed. And what was it, Liverpool? I think it was Liverpool that led to that. It was Liverpool or Chelsea. No, Chelsea's blue. It had to have been Liverpool.
Or Arsenal.
Yeah, that's right. Man, I think it was Arsenal where they had the fans. They had a fight and a bunch of fans died because they got crushed against the fence.
All those North Londoners.
Yeah, weren't English fans banned from Europe for like a decade?
Yeah. Well,
they wouldn't let them come in for matches when England would come
they're
in.
Awful. Eric and I were rooting for the UK to win Euros a couple years ago, and then they were awful to the Italian fans because they were hosting, and they were awful, and it was like, all right, never mind, fuck you guys, like you guys are just belligerent assholes and just being openly racist and just like it was awful. Then it was okay, fine, no longer rooting for your team because you're fans. And that was such a sucky feeling because I hate the Italian style of football and I think that it's terrible. But I love the British style and I know a lot of those players and I love them. But it was like, no, go fuck yourself. Your fans are awful. And then when they went to that Euros game, guess what happened? It went to penalty shootouts for the Euro final, and they lost. And guess what the ethnicity of the 3 players that missed their PKs were? They were black. And so they got even more racist, defaced murals, absolutely trashed those players. And guess what? They ramped up, the Premier League had to ramp up their Say No to Racism initiative over all of that.
Was Radford one of them?
Marcus Rashford was one of those that was absolutely targeted. And
who are the other 2?
Never mind the fact that guy scored more goals than anybody else in the fucking tournament for the team. So.
Yeah, he's been their best player for a while. I mean, solid for sure.
It's fucking crazy. It was him, Raheem Sterling, and who was their last one? Raheem Sterling played for Chelsea at the time. It wasn't Ashley Young.
No?
No. I don't remember who the third
Ashley. It's such an English name for a boy.
That's right. So yeah, fucking wild. Andy knows what I'm talking about. Super listener Andy, you know what I'm talking about.
Andy's probably fine with the fans, though. That's the thing. Okay, so we're actually gonna do a topic. So we're gonna play a video and then we're gonna talk about it. All right, Nolan, you sent the video, so do you want to start the discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell the listeners what the video was. That was John Feidelberg on his podcast, which is called How Do We Get Here? It's a YouTube show. And he was just basically talks to himself for 45 minutes every couple of weeks. It's pretty good. But I saw that video and I, A, laughed supremely hard, and B, immediately screen recorded it and sent it to Tim. And so just because previously on the show, I have had a thing or two to say about the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church, not the Catholics.
Specifically in their protection of pedophiles. And then I had to have a real moment of, oh shit, he's right. Yeah, like the U.S. government is doing the exact same thing. Which, I'm not a fan of the U.S. government either. Just kind of reframed that argument for me.
I'm going to squeeze in a quick, I, Jeffrey Silva, who am still employed by the U.S. government. Opinions listed on this podcast that come from my mouth are not the direct and express opinions of the U.S. Army as a whole, nor the U.S. government in any way, shape, or form, nor are they express opinions of the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office. But fuck the Catholic Church.
What about the damn people?
Oh, yeah. I work part-time for them, so my opinions aren't directly expressed by the Grand River Dam Authority either.
Department of Homeland?
Colton Pierce.
Not officially anymore.
Also employee of the government. But unionized, so therefore I don't give a fuck. So there we go. There you go. I don't know what else to say about it.
I, Nolan Jolly, have no intention to kill myself. I'm of sound mind. Okay, that's debatable, but
Don't talk about
I'm not
it.
killing myself. So if I die, it was the Clintons.
That's right.
It was the Clintons.
If I'm found hanging from a tree with a shotgun blast to my stomach, it was not, as the coroner said, suicide. That's not a joke.
Oh, and then
That
100% happened.
That was a Clinton staffer.
it wasn't just.
Hey, if I shot myself twice with a shotgun, I'm just saying it wasn't a suicide.
That's not what Courtney said in Burbank. New Year's Eve. It's 100% not what she said.
I'm just saying.
She was very adamant to the two Russian gangsters, Armenian gangsters she was talking to. They're opening up that case. They finally are opening up the case.
I know. That should be opened up.
That's why she was so stressed out. Eating
Yeah.
Bob's
It's
Big
not her,
Boy
though.
at-
It's not her, though.
She was eating Bob's Big Boy.
It looks
at
like
11
it's a
PM.
dude
Clearly,
who's
she's
buying.
not doing
It looks
great
like
now.
it's a dude who's buying drugs from.
Ooh, liar. It was definitely Courtney Love, dude.
Well, she might have paid him.
Yeah. So, Tim, what did you think about the video?
Well, you've mentioned it on the show. It's been, I don't know, it's probably been talked about half a dozen times on here that I've been adamant that I have a theory that because the Catholic abuse story broke right after 9/11, it appeared in local papers, like it got broken by the Boston Globe. And then in local papers, once stuff started coming out, like LA broke some of the parishes where they found stuff out. It stayed kind of a local thing, but it was never a national story, or it was a national story for a week because we were in the middle of the aftermath of 9/11. We took several months to gear up for Afghanistan, and then it was a full year of gearing up to go into Iraq, and all that took up the news cycle. But there are a lot of Catholics in this country, and there are a lot of people who I think knew someone, found out somebody had been abused, 3 degrees of separation of somebody who got abused, or it happened in their parish. And I think it had a lot of the unchurched that we talk about, I think comes from the Catholic Church. And I think there's also been some spillover even in the Protestant Church over it. And then in the Protestant Church, we haven't had so much the pedophile things, but there's all these scandals about physical abuse, like with women and stuff like that, that's in the same way been covered up, ignored, people paying hush money at churches and the Southern Baptist Convention. And so even though these things aren't news, it's stuff, particularly now with Facebook, stuff gets shared, and I think it has an effect. And so I agree with you. I think to take it to the government and the politics, there's discussion within Republican talking heads that they still have a chance to win in the fall. And I'm like, no, you've already lost. You have pissed the people who are the most animated. One of the things that they wanted done was the Epstein files, and you gave them the stiff arm. They're done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they get released at this point, I think they're done with you because they've played so many games. I don't think anyone's ever at this point going to believe, and we shouldn't have believed. The problem is no one should have believed this to begin with. It's unfortunate, but the files were never going to get released anyway.
They used the Epstein files in the same way Democrats used student debt forgiveness for a decade.
Yeah.
It's this carrot they're hanging out in front of you, and Republicans are just now convinced that the carrot was never real to begin with.
But even just taking the release of the Epstein files and wanting something to happen to the people who were involved, I think the Epstein thing has just kind of dropped the scales off a lot of people's eyes, and they've come to the conclusion, like I have, that I'm sorry, just generally speaking, I now assume pretty much in Washington, people in Washington, they're either directly involved in or turning a blind eye to some sort of illegal or really disgusting and not illegal sexual perversion, and it's kind of baked into the cake up there. And I think people are done with it. So it's like, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And we'll see, the last couple of elections, we've had supposedly the most number of people voting. We'll see whether or not, if there's a huge drop in voting, I think that's the first indication of what that guy's saying. He's like, no, I'm just not. I mean, I'm not. I've made it clear on here. I'm done voting. It's a waste of I just feel it's a waste of my time. I'm not going to tell. I'm not advocating to anybody else not to vote. That's up to you. But me personally, I'm done with it. I've spent my entire life being told, well, we're going to do this, and you don't do that, and then just vote for us again, and we'll get to it this time, and then it never happens, and then it turns out you're actually the very thing that you've claimed to be the thing you're going to get rid of. And there's just something, I'm sorry, the only word I can come up with, there's something demonic in Washington that just grabs a hold of people. And it just, I don't think everybody who goes there is necessarily bad. I think most people who go there are people who are seeking power, and they're willing to do whatever they can to get there. But I think there's a lot of good men and women who show up, and then they get shown behind the curtain or whatever, and then that's it. They're in with everybody. I don't know what happens, but it just seems like it just sucks the soul out of too many people. And we're stuck with completely amoral zombies who are just kind of doing whatever. So,
I mean, when was the last time you heard, it happens on both sides. You get these freshman congressmen that come in, and they are big and loud for their first term, where they spout off about their most idealist views and policy ideas. And then they get in there for a minute, and when was the last time we heard AOC say some dumb shit or Dan Crenshaw make noise? These are people that when they got there, they were in the news every day.
Oh, yeah. And then Dan Crenshaw's made a ton of money while he's in there because he's insider trading.
Yeah. Well,
Did you arrest a special forces guy that bet on a open forum?
He bet on Polymarket. He played. I know. I don't know why he
gets arrested for insider trading.
I don't understand why he got arrested.
Who's the one in Congress right now? Female that
she's out there, but
she is out now.
But
okay,
that's the Democrats using that as an excuse to get rid of her. There's some
100%. But I mean, they literally had a whole marketing scheme.
But she deserves it.
Follow what she's doing,
right?
And then you can also do great in the stock market.
There was a dude from North Carolina, I want to say like 4, maybe 6 years ago. And as soon as he came in, I think he went on a Fox or something, and they asked him, how's it going? He's like, dude, I get asked to go to these bizarre sex fetish parties all the time in Washington. It's nothing but this. And people made fun of him. I think he ended up getting run out of Congress. He didn't even make it a full 2 years. I think he got run out after a year. And he was like, no, I'm just telling you, like, this place is not good.
He's the Cat Williams.
I told you, motherfucker. There's a...
It's 50 Cent.
Yeah. If he comes in and ends up winning his primary, there's a YouTuber that is involved with a podcast I watch, Unsubscribe. His name's Brandon Herrera.
Familiar.
Yeah. So he's just an average dude that hates government to an extent, but was so mad with his congressman that he decided to run. And so far, he's doing really well. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. He seems like the guy that's...
Where is he at?
He's in Texas.
District 23, Texas, which is like San Antonio and those areas.
The incumbent was Tony Gonzalez, who slept with his staffer, and then she lit herself on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And he just resigned?
Yeah.
And they just had another one come out saying that he also pressured her into sex.
Yeah.
And he spits no game. He's like, so what are you into? Let me get pictures. No, those are the wrong kind of pictures. Let me see like more. Like that's his game, trying to get into these women's pants.
I believe one of them was, are you ticklish?
Yeah.
Was he texting?
Yeah.
He was texting them. Yeah.
See that? I mean, that just tells you right there. If you're doing that and you're running for Congress, that just tells you there's a level of like you think you're bulletproof. That's just like,
and that's where he thought he was. But then
if I was running for Congress, I'd be like paying Google to scour the internet and remove all my presence.
You guys say that, bro. I was like, well, Maddie's in the room. Maddie can verify, bro. Fucking high school girls get those texts every day. Like, I don't know. Like, I was like. I was like, there's
pictures.
Yeah, I was like,
I did not.
What? Oh,
She was
I
a
don't
good
know.
girl until
I was
she
like,
got out of high school.
I was like, Snapchats.
That was a while ago.
That's
that
why.
Was,
that's
that
why
was
I highly
internet.
encourage. I was like, that's why I always highly encourage parents. I was like,
That was
I don't
like
mind
Gen
you.
2 internet.
I was like, I think that pretty much all social media can be. You can teach your kid how to safely navigate it. I would highly recommend that you do not allow your kid to have Snapchat, though, just because of the less there's less of a record that exists within Snapchat. It's a lot harder to get a paper trail for that one.
Wrong.
And therefore, boys and girls do stupid stuff on Snapchat that they shouldn't be doing because of the 24-hour limit that exists within it. Now, I mean, Instagram has added those kind of features and that kind of stuff from there, but originally Snapchat was one of the only ones that was doing it there for a while. And so I used to encourage them not to. But I mean, again, to me, again, I'm not justifying the guy, but I was just like, all right, he's the guy that used to do that in high school, and then he did it all through college, and that probably got him lots of pictures, lots of opportunities with women, and then he continued to do it as an adult. He never grew fucking out of it. Like, that's all I'm getting from it. Like, I was like, yeah, you're
like a Hispanic.
you're still a pervert, and it's disgusting that people do that. But again, that shit happens all the time.
Tony Gonzalez.
Guys are doing that not just in Congress, and that's also kind of one of the issues that I have with like, and why I've had issues with some of the times when we get to these sexual allegations or whatever, and we're like, I don't mind us addressing those, but it's like, okay, are we addressing this top to bottom everywhere? Because, and I mean, that was part of the whole like Me Too movement where it was like, but it's like, if we're just only going after Hollywood stars and politicians, like we're not actually solving the problem, because this is existing everywhere. Like, what are we doing about this? This isn't something that's just happening here in these isolated incidents where it's like, okay, we're going to get this Hollywood, guy banned for some Twitter post that he made in 2008 or whatever. But, and so that, I don't know, I'm not justifying what he's doing, but I'm also saying that this is happening across the board. So what are we doing to change that? I was like, we're just like, oh yeah, the politician can't do it. And it's like, but meanwhile, your boss is doing it. Meanwhile, I was like, one of your friends in your friend group is doing it. Like, what are we doing?
That's one thing I liked about the agency I work for. Like, we are hardcore going after like child sex crimes and stuff like that, whether it be ICAC related, which is internet crimes, or like physical crimes happening. We take every single one of them as seriously as we can, do as much investigation as we're able to do with the facts and the evidence that were presented. Like, I don't remember the most recent, like, bigger one, but it was aggravated possession of child sex abuse material. And I had to do my own research on it. He had like terabytes worth of the crap. And we're like, no. And from what I understand, they got like 3 or 4 separate arrests off of that one dude, because he was like, well, this is who I get it from, and that's who they told me they get it from. And so, yeah, it's ridiculous. I saw a mail fraud one time where they had, which granted, it didn't go anywhere because we didn't fully launch an investigation, but it was multiple AI generated photos in Photoshop. But there was one legit photo, and it showed a child being sexually assaulted, and it like in the mail. So it's everywhere, and it's so rampant. It's hard to get a hold on it, but I agree.
Did you see the photo?
I was the initial officer on that, so yes, I saw the photos, and it was disgusting. Like, I went out and,
like, besides that, like, what happened? Like, what like.
It was like objects and people.
No, I'm not asking what happened. I'm saying, like, what happened to you besides just being disgusted? Like,
I was like angry. That's the only way I could describe it. Like, I mean, even before having my own child, I was like, this is atrocious. I can't believe people are doing this. And then after having my own child, I'm like, I'm never going to be a crimes against children investigator because I'm not going to be able to, compose myself accordingly. Like I can compose myself enough to take the initial report and pass it on to the investigators that handle that stuff. But the investigators that handle that stuff are way more, as far as I'm aware of, way more mentally and emotionally fortified than I am when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Are they though? I mean, I think that's the thing we don't even talk about with this. The sexual crime thing is like this concentric circle of, it's not just the victim. Like there's a level of victimization to the law enforcement and everybody who's involved in having this, like the lawyer who's got to see that shit and immerse him or herself in it for a year or 6 months to do the lawsuit. It's just like,
even just
that stuff doesn't go away. That adds a whole other level of like PTSD. Like, and we don't, you guys, I'm sure, like we've talked about it before. I think one of the big failures that we have in law enforcement is we need to spend more money, and the money's not on like more cops. It's providing the resources that you guys have so you can feel like you can go talk about it. So we don't have like what we had in Tulare 2 years ago where a dude just pulled over a mile from my house and killed himself because he apparently didn't feel like he could talk about the shit he's dealing with all the time because we don't talk about it.
In my area, both the part-time agency I work for, they have their own separate, and then our sister agency, the main police department in our county, I call them the main one just because they're the biggest. We have what's called peer support, and it's basically just they get your name and stuff so that they can make the therapy personalized, but they don't give your name back to the agency. They're like, hey, this is a new case number we're opening. This is the case number assigned to this individual. We're not giving you any information. We're just letting you know they came to talk to us. And it's just go in there, talk to somebody. If you don't like the person you're talking to, say, hey, I'm not really vibing this.
Right.
And they'll put you in touch with a new one. It's almost like BetterHelp, but better because you're actually talking to people and you're not on a computer.
How many people who sign up for law enforcement think, I'm going to get exposed to some child pornography one day?
I think that
and have to process that.
I think that's part of the problem. The law enforcement and the military both. The people signing up for law enforcement and the military, especially with this generation that's coming up with all the helicopter parents about like, oh, nothing's ever going to hurt you. I'll be here. War and criminals are fucked up things.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to just go out there and be like, oh, I haven't experienced this yet either. I'm waiting for it to happen because I'm a cop and it's an inevitability, unfortunately, oh, you just murdered somebody and I'm going to expect you to talk to me like a normal person and we're going to handle this and we're going to go about our day. No. Most recent incident of that, dude went out, murdered his baby mom's grandma, which I'm fairly certain I could talk about this because he pleaded out to multiple life sentences. He murdered his baby mom's mom.
We'll do the first 48, the disclaimer they have.
Yeah.
The case is still pending.
Well, this one's not pending anymore. It's a conviction. He pleaded out. He's got a life sentence without parole, life sentence with parole, and like multiple other years for shooting at cops, all to run concurrent. So he's not getting out of prison. The only reason he's not going for the death penalty is because he took a plea deal, and in Oklahoma, you have to have a trial for a jury to decide, yes, the death penalty is reasonable punishment here.
To do old Sparky. Don't you guys still do electric chair there?
Or did you get rid of it? Lethal injection.
That's lethal injection?
I believe so.
How modern of you.
Right. We should be like Georgia.
Speaking
just go
of
with
which,
that firing squad.
Sorry, we'll get to your story. Did everybody see what the Trump administration just brought back for federal death penalty?
Firing squad?
Firing squad.
So I think it was Georgia. Some dude was like, was it Idaho? There was some state where dude was put up for death. And he said, fuck this lethal injection. I know the statistics on it. I don't want to go by electric chair because I'm scared of electricity. Just shoot me to death. And
it's arguably more. You can make the case. You got 5 guys, whatever it is, for firing squad, and they know how to put center.
the not super talked about reason for burst fire around the Vietnam and Korean War eras, yes, there was a lot of people and they had to put down a lot of people at the same time. But it's also when you get hit that rapidly by that many bullets in, a short little area, your brain doesn't know how to function anymore and just turns off. That's part of why you die. So
Actually, you've seen Project Hail Mary. Have you seen Project Hail Mary?
Not yet,
Oh, okay.
but it's fine.
I just don't understand why we don't do the whole nitrogen chamber. That's what I want to know. Because I read that and I was like, that's how I want to go. Because you're
What, do you get frozen to death?
No. You remove the oxygen from the air and you continue to put nitrogen, so your body continues to breathe. They have it now. It's the chambers that you're able to now get.
Oh, the hyperbaric?
Yeah, where like they had one in like Finland or whatever, where they had like their first like self-assisted suicide, where they allowed.
I don't know about this.
They allowed somebody to commit suicide, and you go in the chamber, and it just releases nitrogen, and so it
You just
takes
fall
out.
asleep and die?
Yeah, you basically just fall asleep and you die because you suffocate, but you don't realize that you're suffocating.
You just
get really sleepy. That's it.
Yeah.
Or you get so that's that solution. But then the other one that I was talking about was the heroin. So you just slowly up the dosage of heroin through somebody to where eventually they OD and die. But they have no idea about it. So in Project Hail Mary, that's one of the solutions. So there's no spoiler for this because it's pretty much like known that their whole thing is going to be a suicide mission. And so
instead of a cyanide capsule, it's
the three people that go on the ship all have to decide how they want to die, and the chick decides that she wants to die by heroin injection as her way of going out. They have like a Russian that goes with them, and
intravenous vodka.
He wants to shoot himself. He's like a Russian military, or is he Chinese? I don't remember what it is.
So that's her version. That's a new form of heroin chic. Is I'm going to die via heroin.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, there we go. There's a good use to the opioids coming into our country.
There you go.
I have for years said
thought about it
that my dad has requested the first time I have to wipe his ass, I kill him. And he said, shoot me. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, what? I said, I'm going to find some really nice high-grade heroin. I'm going to give you the best 30 seconds of your life. And then you'll drift away. It'll be great.
Yep.
He said, all right, that works too.
You'll drift up into the surly bond. What is it? Surly bonds?
It was that or of Mice and Men style. Just bring a box of puppies.
And put a bullet behind his head.
Yeah. Just look at the flowers.
I freaking flake.
They're bunnies.
Well, no, there's no bunny. He's looking out over the lake. Guys, come on.
I thought he was looking at the rabbits.
No, there's no rabbits. No, he's envisioning the property that they're gonna own together. He's looking out over the Salinas River, and George is telling him the story about and it's so brutal. He's like, nobody's gonna be mean to you, Lenny. And he's like, I thought you were mad at me, George. And he's like, no, never been mad, and I ain't mad now. And then he pulls the trigger on him. Yeah, you're like, fuck. Oh, yeah, I just finished reading that with the kids the other day.
Nice.
Yeah. How did they handle that?
It is
so gross.
Said we do. Courtney Love did it.
It is.
Jesus Christ.
It is the most rewarding book to read with high schoolers. The reason why, it's so fast. It's 6 chapters. The kids and things happen quick. Like it's boom, 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 boom. They like that Lenny has some sort of mental disability. So that's kind of like entertaining to them. And then it's such a shock when he's killed at the end.
Do they get the book?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like we have discussions and we talk about it as we go through.
How much are you having to walk them through and how much of them are
there's quite a bit. You could sit there and tell them about all the foreshadowing that's hitting them in the face the entire time, and they could not predict the ending to save their life. It's hilarious. You're like, why does Candy there's a moment where like you tell the kids like, and you're like spoon feeding them. You're like, all right. Well, we gone through all of this, but then the dog's dead, right? And the boys are coming in after they've talked about this dream or whatever, and then Candy turns to George completely unprompted. Nothing else is going on. And he turns to George and he says, I should have killed my dog, George. I should have never let no stranger shoot my dog.
Oh, no.
Fucking random ass line in the whole entire, like, it's like dead center of the book. And just, there's no other significant, like, there's nothing else going on. And then immediately after that, just like, oh, there's all this hustle and bustle going on or whatever. And you point that out to the kids. No fucking clue. They're just like, oh, yeah, well, he's just upset about his dog being dead.
Do you guys?
And you're like, boy, are you in for a treat?
Do you guys formally go through in one of the years in high school with like training on looking for symbology, foreshadow?
Oh yeah, we go through it all the time. We can.
So they just still don't get it.
The kids get foreshadowing. Like that's one of those that they're able to grasp.
They just that one was too subtle.
It's not subtle.
It's not about no. It's not subtle at all. Of anything, it's just they still have these ideas in their brain that it could not go back. Like you can tell them the end of chapter 5 is Lenny kills Curly's wife. Lenny kills Curly's wife. He's on the run. He's going to go hide in the brush. And George has a plan or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You read that whole thing to him all the way through chapter 5 with all this foreshadowing that's been going on where you've been pointing it out, blah, 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 blah. They're still thinking that George and Lenny are going to go run off and escape somewhere. I'm like, guys, there's only 10 pages left. That's what you think is going to happen?
Depending on what movies you grow up with, I would say
there's a sequel.
I would say it's the first introduction to like the European ending. Nobody gets to be happy. Everybody just
Bridge to Terabithia. What are you talking about?
Depending on what movies you grow up with.
Where the red fern grows.
Yeah.
Bro, English class
Old
is just
Yeller?
depressing.
Old Yeller. Yeah.
Fucking Outsiders, bro. What are you talking about? No, English
you
is
guys read
depressing.
that?
Romeo and Juliet.
You read Outsiders?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Romeo and Juliet. If you don't remember Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
Oh my God.
It does not end well for the black kid at the end.
No, it doesn't.
I was like, that kid gets the shit beat out of him, and then he actually ends up getting hung later. I was like, there's a sequel book where he goes on trial, and it points out that doesn't end up working out.
Oh, speaking of Romeo and Juliet, there's that hysterical moment in the Landman.
Fucking the giver, they commit suicide.
Where they're at his dad's. There's somewhere and there's a black lady and his daughter and the quarterback are there and they're bickering and walking away. And she says, oh, they're just like Romeo and Juliet. And he turns around and goes, hey, do you ever read that book? And she goes, no. And he goes, well, let me tell you. And he breaks down the whole book in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the
absolute massacre of two family bloodlines.
Yeah, they decide to marry without their parents saying yes. Their families hate each other. They die, and their whole family's annihilate. So it's hilarious.
I don't actually give a two flying fucks about Romeo and Juliet. They both did that to themselves. But Tybalt, Mercutio, dying, like there's this whole thing where it's like we just dragged everybody in on this. Yeah, it's like dude. Yeah, that's what you read.
And it's Billy Bob Thornton, so it's hysterical. Just the way he delivers it. Have you ever read that? Have you read Romeo and Juliet? No.
Yeah, no. English is actually all about depressing your ass in high school.
It should be. It's
middle school, and
because no one lives in the natural world anymore. A lot of these kids do, but still, like we don't live in.
I think the only book that doesn't have a death in it is fucking The Catcher in the Rye, and that's still depressing as shit.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Like, like what the hell?
It's a very boy book.
Yeah,
Is there a death in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah,
the whole thing is centered around.
Well, yes, yes, and then yes.
Well, no. Is there death? Actually, I know there's the rape of the girl.
Oh yeah,
it's the rape of the girl that they pin on the black guy because times.
But didn't he get off?
Doesn't he get hung? No, the black dude gets hung.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
But does he?
Yes,
he does. I think
Atticus isn't a good enough lawyer.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The book, and it's one of those, she writes it really well. What we're told is he got despondent and he tried to flee the sheriff and he got killed.
Well, and then Boo,
but
does Boo Radley,
knowing what we know about the South, he might have been killed. That's just the story we've been told is he got despondent and tried to flee.
Well, does Boo Radley kill, what's his name when he's pursuing Scout? And
Yes,
Yeah.
he sticks a knife in him.
okay, that's what I thought.
It's been over 10 years.
Robert Duvall's first role.
Robert Duvall's first role,
Nobody said-
never says a word, but he was so good in it. He got work from it.
Nobody's depressed by what's his name dying there though.
No.
So
No,
that's not the depression thing. Everybody's cool with that, but it's when you kill characters that, yeah. I think the one that's a little too traumatic that they don't need to be reading with kids is Bridge to Terabithia. That's like a 4th grade reading. That's a 4th grade book.
I don't
Yes.
know anything about the book. I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's gnarly, dude.
It's
The-
literally
Young kid, young girl. They get
I mean, I
together,
was
they're
aware of
having a
it
great
because
time.
when Jeff and the kids
Yeah.
grew up, it
Girl
was something
dies.
talked about all the time.
yeah, a girl dies.
Girl
It is
dies.
so unexpected.
Kid
It's
gets
out of
mad
fucking-
at teacher.
Yeah.
out of
She dies.
The rope swing breaks and she hits her head.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
rope swing breaks. She hits her head.
There was
And then
probably a
drowns in, like,
pedophilic
water.
teacher that invited the boy out to go do something the day it happened. And
so she didn't die like Mandy Moore of cancer
No.
No, it's,
in whatever
yeah,
book that was.
It's A Walk to Remember. I
Yeah,
think.
watch I remember.
Yeah, so there you go. That's English talk. I don't know how we got here.
That's the genius of this.
Yeah, I know.
This
I literally
is
said
Bible
we'll
study.
we'll get on to something. It's
Jeff was going to tell us about a
so it ended up-
case.
so back to the context behind it was
back to our political system being corrupt.
And our culture.
Yeah, and our culture.
so it was some people definitely don't realize that the guy that just killed 2 people isn't going to have a nice conversation with you after the fact about him killing 2 people. Because we had a guy, he killed his baby mom's mom, went from where he did that to the city of Muskogee. He was out in the county somewhere. He went to the city of Muskogee, killed a co-defendant on a separate case, and then led police on a pursuit, shot at police, got shot like multiple times, somehow lived. It's always the shitbags that do. And finally, so the first time he came up for prelim, when he was asked if he wanted to take a plea deal, he said, "No, I ain't taking no plea deal." And the judge said, "Son, do you know what you're doing?" He said, "I ain't fucking retarded, judge," on the record, which is great. And then they went through their whole course of things. And then they brought it up again. They're like, "We're about to go to trial." He's like, "I'll take a plea deal." He's like, "Cool. Life without, life with a shit ton of extra years for shooting at the police." And that was the end of that story. But that's just to show you're not the people you pull over that you have a positive interaction with, whether that be just they're not yelling at you, they're not being a piece of shit in general. Those are going to be like the grannies or the kids who have never gotten pulled over before. The people who you're going to have an oh shit moment with are the people who just killed 2 people. And some people don't realize that. And the same thing with the military, to go into that, is people are going into the military, they're like, "Yeah, war, I've seen Generation Kill, I've seen Platoon, I've seen all this other fucking war movies."
Played
And
Call
then
of
they-
Duty my whole life, bitch.
Yeah. And then they go to war and they're like, "I'm fucking scared."
They were gonna do Fortnite dances on people.
Yeah, they thought they were going to do Fortnite dances and take pictures pissing on a dead insurgent's body like the Marines.
They're the kid in Unforgiven.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this isn't what I signed up. This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to feel good about killing a dude, and I got
Yeah. And that's
mixed
where I'm
feelings,
at now.
if not worse, about it.
I call myself the retard whisperer at work because there's a lot of people that start off really mad at me.
Because you're a Marine, I get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, eating crowns and shaking booty since day one, I guess. But I'll get out there and people will be yelling, and I read verbal judo and like half the other people I know at my department, and so when they're yelling at me, I'm like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And they're like, "What? What are you doing? What the fuck? What are you doing? What are you saying to me, dude?" I've been saying, "What are you doing?" for the past like 3 times. You're just like mad for no reason. I don't get it. "Oh, well, my bitch wife, she didn't listen the first time I told her to do something, so I punched her in the mouth." I'm like, "Cool, let's go to jail now." Like, it's just,
So you ask the right questions to disarm them
yeah,
by not engaging.
100%. And that's basically all verbal judo is. Take whatever the
I've never
energy
read
is when you get
verbal judo, but for some reason I intuitively learned it when I was in junior high and elementary school. Every time we moved, the school bully found me.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was the same way. It was just you just don't respond to the nonsense, or even like fights at college and bars and parties, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, I'm not here to do the do-si-do, so move on. And then they try to goad you into it. And you're like,
For
they
me,
just don't
it
really care.
started in the jail even before I read verbal judo. Like most of the time, you could handle that with like, this is a person, and jail isn't a home, but it's their home. So you go in there and you're like, hey man, like you're really fucking trashing the house. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I'm just mad about this. I'm like, yeah, but is ruining your shit and then in turn ruining it for everybody else going to be the answer here? No. Okay, cool. But there are also the times like Maddie and I were both working at the jail for a while, and I'd use my big boy voice because I was telling the dude he had to lock down. Because what the information I get, he stole a tray from the breakfast cart, and it caused somebody else to not be fed. And I was like, "Hey man, you're gonna go lock down, and I'm gonna figure out what exactly happened, and whatever exactly happened will depend on how long you're locked down for. You're either gonna be locked down for 24 hours for taking food off my tray, or you're gonna be locked down for 72 hours for taking food off my tray and causing another inmate to not be able to eat." And he started yelling at me. I said, "This isn't your fucking house. This is my house. You're going to lock the fuck down." And he did. And I came back to him. I said, "All right, now that the yelling's done, this is what I'm going to do." I explained the process. I'm going to go watch cameras. If you didn't get a tray and you just took a tray off my cart, locked down 24 hours because you're not allowed to touch my cart without getting permission. If you touched my cart, took a tray, and were the direct reason somebody else didn't get to eat because you already got to eat and you just wanted more, you're going to be locked down for 72 hours. Turns out he hadn't eaten yet either, and he was just mad and he wanted his tray. I was like, I went down, did my thing, found out what I found out, came back up, said, "Hey, 24 hours.
He's still coaching? Sorry.
You're good.
He's still coaching?
Yeah.
He was coaching in the 90s.
Well, he's the Ducks' newest hire this year.
Good Lord.
That's
Apparently
a new hire?"
Apparently did a good job.
Oh, he's a hell of a coach. He's a Hall of Famer. How many... Wait, I'm going to grab another beer.
What?
And we're going to continue this. Because I have more questions for you, Jeff.
And crazy here.
All right, we're back.
No, but the rice makes it longer, or makes it lighter.
Yeah. Because it's really light.
It's very light.
What do you think, Jeff?
What?
What do you think of yours?
He apparently wants to slurp down the head.
It's good.
It's got to be a profound number of hops in this.
Look,
Oh, yeah. That's not a... So, just catching everybody up. We're drinking... Colton stopped drinking it too.
And they made a lager.
And we're now each drinking something different. So Jeff's drinking the Moonlight Lunatic Lager, which we've had on the show before. We picked it up on our younger trip.
You're not going to like that.
Nolan's drinking what we drank on the last show, which is the Fieldwork
High and
Fine West Coast. It's basically a light IPA, if we're being honest.
What the fuck?
It's a longer IPA. That's what it is.
It's an IPA that they let rest for 40 days. I don't know.
It's bizarre. If you know any like the brew making process, it doesn't make any sense. It's a mind twister, and it smells really funky.
It's like the Chris Angel of beers. It's a mind freak.
It smells almost marijuana-ish.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Now you tell me.
But the can
Very
is sick
skunky.
as hell. I would like to buy this as
the can straight out of old school Skull and Bones skateboarding.
Yeah,
Like Thrasher. That's
yeah.
a Thrasher sticker, but in beer.
yeah. But
Oh, and then I'm drinking the Firestone collaboration, West Coast IPA collaboration with Freem Brewing Company, which is in Oregon. This is the Freel IPA, and it's fantastic. By the way, the previous one we had was fantastic. I wish I'd bought 2 4-packs of that. That was delicious.
say it again.
That's in a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans, so we'll probably have that. Colton and I will probably have it together next week. It's delicious.
Where's Freem? There's a P on the front, but I'm guessing it's silent like pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Yeah, I think they're in Oregon. What is it? Freem?
Yeah. F-R-I-E-M. P-F-R-I-E-M. Freem. I try to pronounce the P.
Hood River, Oregon.
That's like Eastern Oregon, I think. Central Eastern.
That's
No, it's about.
Really?
It is due east of Portland. I cannot tell on this map how far. I would guess about 30, 40 minutes, right on the Hood River.
no say.
Oh, I saw a fantastic movie, and I think I'm going to buy the book. It's called Train Dreams. And it's a guy.
Is it Khloe Kardashian or sorry? Kim
Oh, I know what you're talking
Kardashian's
about. Is it the
autobiography?
Netflix
Yeah.
movie with Edgerton or whatever
Yeah,
his name
the
is?
Edgerton that's not related to the
Not
other
yeah, not
Edgerton.
the guy who was in the fight movie.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Nope.
Oh, the one where it's the
Mortal
two
Kombat.
brothers, which apparently a lot of people hate, and I don't know why. Well, I guess if you're really into MMA, I could see how it's a ridiculous movie. Like Rogan hates it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's a
What are we talking about? Here Comes the Boom.
there you go.
When Kevin James had to do the stunt for real one time.
Here
just to
comes
say,
the
like,
Salma
"Nah,
Hayek."
it's not just the fucking ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a
Train
minute.
Dreams follows just a dude like living in the West. Movie starts probably 1915-ish, 1920, give or take. And he's working for what were they called? Lumber tycoons or a logging company that's destroying the Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah,
And he's working for one of those guys and finds a wife and sets up a home and follows his life. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's a 200-page book or something like that. You're supposed to be able to read it. Really
sounds like the
quickly.
first quarter of Seabiscuit.
I haven't seen Seabiscuit.
Or read the book.
It's got Tobey Maguire in it. No, I don't read books.
Son, you're
I
blind
You
in
just said
one
you were going to buy
eye.
a book.
I'm trying to read more books, but no, I haven't read books previously. No, I
No,
don't.
not from you, you dirty you. My wife reads smut just like every other white girl of this day and age.
This is true.
Yeah, my wife reads smut. Is anybody coming at me? Like, I don't
No,
know.
not at all.
I don't know. Tim.
No,
Tim
you want
right
to talk about a European fucking ending? Let's go into
This is
Fourth Wing,
Jordan Peterson's
the first
theory.
book in a series. The character that everybody loves because he's just like this normal dude. He's a fucking good
Yeah.
dude.
We get it. It's okay. You
No. And then
read
he
dragon porn. It's
Hey,
okay.
maybe
we
I
got it.
All right, yeah,
It's
my bad.
fairy
Jack.
porn, not dragon.
No,
fairy
Fourth
porn.
Wing is
That's
dragon
Avatar.
porn. That's
That's
Akatar.
Avatar. Dragon porn is
What are we
But
talking
anyway,
about?
this heartthrob of a character at the end of the book,
Heartthrob.
right before he dies, all he says is, "It's been my honor," as he has probably one of the most violent fucking deaths I've read in a book in a long time. Anyway.
you should go read some Cormac McCarthy.
Oh,
right, yeah.
You know they're making Blood Meridian into a movie right now.
I gotta watch it.
I saw somebody
There's
recommend.
one of the main characters is a satanic character in that book. So no, thank you.
I saw somebody recommend
The Man in Black is not a good character. I mean,
all the pretty horses the other day.
The book?
Yeah.
The book is fantastic, and so is the movie.
Oh, I didn't know. there
You
was a
will.
movie.
The movie stars Matt Damon and the kid who plays the quarterback in the Friday Night Lights, the movie,
Okay.
and the music is done by Marty Stewart, and it is
Sick. All right.
amazing. It has one of the best soundtracks ever. You do have to put up with Penelope Cruz, who's pretty on the eyes, but I cannot stand her talking.
Oh no, I have to watch Penelope.
You will enjoy it. You enjoy it. It's. I would say it's faithful to the point of McCormick's book, which is how hard that life is.
I've only read 2 McCormick books, and I'm not trying to read anymore.
I would say All the Pretty Horses is probably the lighter one of all of his books, but it's also very just how rough
I'm not reading No Country for Old Men.
how rough life can be.
Not reading fucking Child of God. I've heard that one's fucking awful too.
Child of God, which one's? Oh, is that the one with the brother and the sister, and there's like incest or something?
No, that's
Child
Game of Thrones.
Child of God.
No, I'm serious.
Child of God is about a guy that literally is like fucking a piece of shit to the world. Like literally just like is awful. And,
Huh.
and he's like in Tennessee or something and is just like literally like an awful human being. I don't know how it all ends out, but I know that he's just...
Did he give many interviews?
Cormac?
Yeah.
Nah, he's kind of a recluse.
That's what I thought. I would have loved to have gotten to like, what's the point of your books?
I mean, no, it is very... So Child of God is considered... So there's almost kind of like... The name is almost satirical in its own way, but also redemptive in the overall story arc. But you have to get through all the shit. Like... And that's how it always is with his books, right? Blood Meridian, The Road. You're just like, damn, what's the fucking point of all of this? You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. And then eventually you're like, oh, okay, got it. Here's this glimpse of something that is meaningful and powerful. And that's why The Road won the Pulitzer Prize.
Right.
But you're just like, holy fuck, dude. What the fuck is going on in your head? Also,
dude, The Road is
use...
He's looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Also, use some fucking punctuation, you fucking moron.
Yeah, that I still don't understand.
Golly, dude. It's not that bad in The Road. I will say, I've read Blood Meridian and The Road isn't that bad because there's only 2 people. So it's you can keep that one in your head. Blood Meridian, there's like 7 guys around a fucking bonfire. I have no fucking clue who's talking. No clue. Doesn't say, and all of the characters are faceless nobodies. Like, it's like, this guy's a Mexican, this guy's what? They don't have names. Nope, nobody. Not even the main character. He's just the guy. And it's just, and there's the man in black, who's, again, this satanic character. You know when that guy's fucking talking because he's going to say weird-ass shit or demonic shit.
Right.
And then, like, you got this whole thing, everybody else. But again, that's also part of his whole shtick where it's like, that actually doesn't matter. He's like, the story is pushing. This doesn't actually fucking matter who's talking. But when you've read books for a long time, you get used to that. And that just seems like the norm. And so you're just like, I'd like to know who's saying this to kind of get, but he doesn't want you to actually get attached to the characters. Because guess what? They're going to fucking die. And so it doesn't actually matter.
I haven't read Old Country for Old Men. I've only watched the movie once because it's brutal. But there is a very clear moral, and I would say...
Oh, yeah.
I would say the Javier Bardem character. I mean, when the first time he shows up and you see him murder some dude on the side of the road with a fucking cow thing, you're like, oh, wow, we're in for something different. And then it's just the whole movie is that.
There's a reason the Coen brothers are the ones that made it.
Correct.
He's extremely talented as a writer. And also Blood Meridian, again, everything that he's writing about is fucking true. Like, there's nothing that he's writing about in there because, again, if you don't know the story of Blood Meridian, it's about cowboys going and collecting bounties for Native American scalps in Mexico. And so they're just going out and clearing out the Aborigine tribes in just across the Mexican border and that kind of lifestyle. And it's filthy, disgusting, awful. But all of it's fucking true. Like, there's not like any of it that's over embellished. You know, he's like, yeah, this is what the Indians did. This is what they did to them. This is what they did when they went into town. This is like, he's extremely accurate about what it is to be a cowboy and what it actually was to be a bounty hunter or whatever. But it's just like, ugh.
I watch a B movie on Amazon Prime or Peacock or something about that. Can't remember what the name of the movie is. Can't remember who's in it. All I remember from the movie was the mom was like a professor who had written a couple of creative books, fiction books, and she taught creative writing at college.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, forced her teenage son to write daily and stuff. And they got into a fight, being the, punk teenager that he is. He says, I'm out of here. And she yells out the door, while you're out there, learn how to use a comma. You're not Cormac McCarthy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that guy's terrible.
That's awesome.
It's like a stream of consciousness is literally what he's like.
It's the whole thing. And like you said, in The Road, it's manageable.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I didn't have to reread as many pages in The Road as I did.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I had to reread because, again, there's only 2 characters. It was like,
I remember when you were reading Blood Meridian, you were talking about how it was just a slog.
You got into a depression.
Yeah, you did. I think got you into a funk.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's one of the worst books that I've ever read. Like, not from the standpoint of like
not a literary. It's just
no, not a literary perspective. Just like this
the
topic,
content.
this topic and content is not for me. Like, it just doesn't work for me. And then Eric was like, "You need to read The Road," and it was already on NPR's top 100 book list, which I'd said on the show before that I'm trying to read through. I mean, so I was like, I knew I was going to have to hit it eventually. And and I was like, he was like, "I'll let you borrow it sometime," and I was like, "Okay." And I was hoping that was just like, all right, I'll ask for it whenever I want to read it. He gave it to me the next week. And I was like, you fucking bastard. So read that as soon as I was done with my next one. And I will say, extremely powerful book. I think the message is immensely powerful in that book. I don't want to read it again.
They did a good job with the movie on that one too.
They
Fairly
did.
well.
Yeah.
It's fairly generally it's
They toned
True
down
to
some of
the-
the gore
yeah,
of
but-
it, but
it's still rough.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like in that book, there's a lot of tension, right? Like that book is almost kind of like a
It's
horror.
a thriller.
It's a thriller horror kind of thing where it's like you have this tension kind of building. There's no like, you have these horrific scenes in some of the elements, but then
The story is post-apocalyptic world.
So I found this book by accident at Barnes and Noble.
You
And
found
I was
the
like,
road by accident?
Huh?
You found the road by accident? Oh,
I've never heard of it, never heard of the author before, and I picked it up and I read the back of it, and based off the description on the back, I was like, this might be a good book. I think I got through 2-3 chapters, and then I just put it down because life, but I haven't picked it back up yet. So I understand the general concept is father-son in a post-apocalyptic world, and they're trying to get to this place that's promised to be like a better place.
yeah, I think
With-
a book at Eli kind of.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't
But-
know. Did you know he wrote the screenplay to The Counselor?
yeah.
It makes sense because that movie is depraved.
Yeah,
Totally depraved. I've watched that. That was another one I watched once. On all right, that's off the list, but never watching that again.
Yeah, I don't know. Cormac McCarthy is not for the faint of heart. You know who loves Cormac McCarthy though? Jordan Brokaw loves the shit out of him. And like we go back and forth on that, where he's like, "I'm reading Blood Meridian again," and I'm like, "You're a psychopath." I'm thinking about calling the cops on you. Like,
When was the last time you
fucking
tortured a dog for
wild.
fun?
fucking wild.
Did you watch that video I sent you of the guy, the Scotsman, doing the breakdown of Unforgiven?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
He had all kinds of stuff in there I'd never thought of.
I mean, I didn't. I don't think I really thought about Unforgiven that much. Aside from when we did the video, I know I love the movie, but I hadn't really like when we or not video, they're recording for it. So,
It was really good.
Unforgiven's a great movie.
Oh, his big thing is it's Eastwood. I guess Eastwood had wanted to make the movie for a long time, but he knew his character had to. He basically waited it out until he was old enough to do the character.
yeah.
So he'd been sitting on it intentionally, and then
That's
once
how-
he thought he was old
That's how
enough,
Gran Turismo was too. You had to keep waiting
Gran
for that.
Turismo.
Yeah,
Gran
Torino. Yeah,
Turismo.
sorry. You had to wait a little bit longer for that one.
Yeah.
but his big thing is it's
He had
deconstructing.
that script written when he was 20.
The movie is a deconstruction of all the movies that made him famous. So, and it's not in a way like he regrets doing those movies. It's just pointing out, like, look, I did all these movies. They made me famous as spaghetti westerns. But that's not real life. This is real life. And that's what that, and so this is like a real, like, this is really what the West was. This is really what was going on. And anyway, he breaks down all the different characters in ways that I hadn't thought about. Like, it's really good. Like, it's about 10 minutes.
I also
but-
hate that you guys corrected me because 100% Clint Eastwood wanted to be in that Gran Turismo movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They didn't have the
Gran
technology at the
Turismo.
time.
Well, speaking of Eastwood, an annual training I went on. I will not specify year or anything else because might get in trouble. We stayed
this year.
at the same like Kwanzaa huts that were pictured in Heartbreak Ridge, and I may or may not have a flag from inside the little like mini USO kind of building they had set up over there.
For boot camp in Heartbreak Ridge.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen the movie.
It is
I
so
just know they
unbelievably.
filmed
It is
there.
unbelievably bad, but because it's Clint Eastwood, you got to watch it. It is a horrible movie, but it's also a lot of fun. It's completely stupid.
Is that the one where they blow up the train tracks?
No.
Train
This
bridge?
one, no.
That-
This one is.
a break over the Rio.
Yeah, no. This one's from the mid '80s. This is.
That's Bridge over the River Kwai.
It's 1986.
They do blow up the bridge in
That might be
the
that
train tracks.
Bridge over the River Kwai. That's
But that's an old.
That's Obi-Wan
old
Kenobi.
movie.
That's Sir Alec Guinness.
Heartbreak Ridge was
Heartbreak
I
Ridge
don't
is like
think that's bigger than
86,
the other one.
and he's leading a bunch of dudes who would never ever be in the Marine Corps as Marines, and the movie ends with them in Grenada, and it's just the dumbest movie ever. But it's endearing because it's Clint Eastwood, so it's fun to watch.
Movie I rewatched lately, The Harder They Fall on Netflix. Have you watched that one?
I believe I have.
Idris Elba and all black cowboy movie.
Oh yeah.
God, it's good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah.
So good. Also, a good reminder.
Where they go to the White Town.
No. They do. They go rob the White Bank.
Yeah, in the White Town. If you've never seen the movie, the town's all white.
Yeah.
There's no, again, remember, all black cowboy movie, but the whole town is just white.
Yeah.
But there's kind of this little tongue in cheek bit with it.
There's it's a picture of it's what lots of people use as their picture of heaven.
Yeah. Did you guys end up watching, speaking of movies and African American casts, did you guys end up watching? I felt like you guys were all on the same page.
I have no idea. I don't even know what book you're reading from.
No,
let alone
this
the same
isn't a
page.
book. Michael B. Jordan's movie, the vampire movie.
Yes,
Oh,
Sinners.
Sinners.
Hell no.
It was a
I know
great
why
movie
you're not
for me.
watching it.
I'm
It's not.
I am
what you
out.
think.
No, I'm out on all Jordan Peele. I just don't. I don't do any of that.
It is
bullshit.
such a good
Jordan
movie,
Peele.
though. So the
Sure it
only
is.
thing that I did not like about it was there's a scene in there, spoilers if you haven't seen it, where it's not really breaking apart of the plot. They're playing this music, and it's talking about every once in a while you'll have this person that plays music so it's like an in tune part of their soul. They can connect to like the ancestors and stuff like that. It's vampires, but from a like voodoo mindset.
How racist.
So they go in there and
This movie's racist as hell.
yeah, 100%. It like literally ends with a Klansman battle, but they like connecting to the ancestors. So they're connecting to the Zulu and Swahili tribes or whatever tribes that they're connecting to. And then they're also fast forwarding from this like black people are pretty freshly freed from being slaves, but actively in the sharecropper state.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fast forwarding all the way up to like now, where it's just a bunch of women shaking their ass for no reason. That was the only point of
It's not
contention
for no
in that
reason.
movie for me.
Lil Jon is on the radio.
You know what?
Okay. Touch the floor.
Were the men playing dice?
It was just.
I mean, if we're gonna do
Yeah.
tropes,
yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
no, that one, no. And then there was the other one, the hymn one. I was like, fuck no, that
No,
looks like straight up satanic.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. But no, the Sinners was a very good movie. And I'll probably watch it again sometime. I had heard it's a vampire movie, and so I expected a lot of gore. It really wasn't.
Oh yeah, surprisingly not.
Yeah.
But isn't that Peele's whole thing? Isn't it more like psychological,
No, so
like tension and all that kind of stuff in his horror movies?
There's
But didn't you say that wasn't Jordan Peele's movie?
it's not a Jordan.
Oh, I thought it was a Jordan Peele
No.
movie.
No, it's
Oh.
not a Jordan Peele movie.
Oh,
And
all right. Well, then never mind.
It's not a Jordan Peele movie, and for over half of the movie, there's no vampires, and you're just watching. It's like
The only reason why that I knew that it was a vampire movie, which I only saw like a clip or whatever. And I asked somebody, I was like, hey, is this a vampire movie? They had already seen it. I was like, and they were like, yeah. And they were like, I was like, oh, okay. Because the like big African American guy, they're like, he's like, I want to come in. And they're like, Okay, and why don't you just come in? And it's this whole,
Yeah.
it's the whole.
You've been in and out of this
He
joint all
needs to
night.
be
Why you all of a sudden
invited
you need
in,
permission?
kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's funny because I didn't know that was the thing with vampires until like 4 years ago. Even though I'd read Dracula, but it's like a part that I missed that they have to be invited in. So I was like, oh,
Your wife get you into Vampire Diaries, yeah?
nope.
I like the cast. It's got Jack O'Connell. Looks like he's the only cracker in it. I guess there's another one.
Yeah.
So
He's the main cracker.
He's like the main vampire cracker.
He is great in an essay. It's a show about the SAS. It's not at all historical. That's on Amazon.
Was it the?
It's the
I
King's
thought it
Man.
was a movie for a long time, but it's a show where he's
SAS?
playing Patty Main.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
I
heard
have it on
so
the home
many good
server.
Things about that. Yeah, we definitely need to watch that. Respectfully, sir, the only reason my regiment wears the sand-colored berets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in season 2, there's a great line where they drop into Italy
Mm.
and they're in a Catholic church, and he takes his Tommy gun and puts it over, not Tommy gun, but his Thompson, and puts it over the crucifix. And one of his guys comes and says, "Patty, can't do that. A lot of the boys are religious." And he says, "That's not Jesus. Jesus is in here."
Yeah. So from what
Love
I
that line.
understand, that was actually like one of probably one of the better renditions of Patty Main
Mhm.
and his life and how he came in there, and everybody was like, well, there's no way he was actually an alcoholic. It's like, you don't realize how much war changes somebody. Of course he's an alcoholic. He's just watched like the majority of his best friends in life die.
The U.S., yeah. The Allies marched across Europe being alcoholics. What are you talking about?
Did I tell you about the guided trip I found the other day? I sent it to you on Instagram. There's a guided trip where you follow Easy Company's route through Europe.
Oh, I think Brett Adams did that.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
I told Jay about it.
tour.
He mentioned that.
I know. I know. I think maybe Brett did his own because I do know Brett. So Brett landed. Brett spent the night in
jail.
Well,
he spent the night, I believe, in Caratan. He slept on the street because there was no room in the inn, and he just
Did he have a baby?
curled up on a bench and slept. And he got woken up a couple times, but yeah, he just showed up and was like he was going to do the whole thing.
Huh.
So
very on brand for Brett.
Oh
Adams.
yeah, I'm just going to show up and
Yeah, no, it's a guided tour where, there's one dude that does it, all year round or whatever. And you stay at different castles along the way where they would have been hunkering down. You take a bus. You take a bus stretches and you hike stretches and do different stuff like that. But it seemed cool as hell. I got the little bastards been flying around.
where did that guy come from? That's weird.
I probably let him in when I walked in. I walked in at dusk. So
How many knuckleheads do you have to work with, Jeff? Who don't engage, like, in particular, like they engage in the nonsense.
And what do you mean by nonsense?
They engage in the verbal stuff that you like that you were talking about. You diffuse.
So I have enough seniority that I'm able to kind of pick and choose where I go, and because of that, it's been a while. I know there are a few, but they're just like younger guys. But even then, they're learning. Like,
Right.
let's not let them saying some wild shit about me affect me and start giving into that energy. I'd say the last time I had one of those, there's one guy who had a situation where just pretty much anytime somebody would start yelling, he'd immediately go into giving it back. And I'd be like, hey, hang out a second. And I go up there and I do my own thing. But for the most part, we're a pretty well-run agency. And our sheriff likes to talk highly on us that we're probably some of the better trained deputies within the state of Oklahoma. And that's just, I don't know what it is. Like,
How many deputies are former military?
Let's see, One of our investigators, at least one of our investigators.
So not a
Oh,
lot.
yeah. So there's an entire shift that we call them the Marine shift. They were all former.
So how are they?
They're pretty good. I've worked with them one time, and they were all pretty good. Like one of them's he made his way to sergeant, and he was an instructor at like an officer training academy for the Marine Corps. He's very much like he's going to go in there. He's going to handle stuff a very specific way. There's one guy on the shift that's very much like he wants to do the run and gun stuff, and as soon as it's not the run and gun stuff, he's really good about like, do I have to take paperwork on this? No. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to disappear. And then there's one. He was the jail admin for a little bit before finally getting his chance out here in the streets, and he's very much like. So he's been deployed in a combat zone and has done some things. So he's very much in the sense of like doesn't care. He's like, I'm not getting shot at.
He's not
I
seeing
am having
anything
a great
new.
day.
He's not seeing anything he hasn't seen before.
Right. So with him, he's pretty good at what he does. The people that we have had in the past that give into it way too much and start getting like way over the top, they don't work for us anymore. They either went to different agencies because they were already looking into other agencies, or they just got fired because they were doing dumb stuff. And
so your Marines are pretty good, you know, because the thing in California is it's known the CHP likes to find Marines, and it's pretty much, you know, it's generally most people in California don't like interacting with CHP because they can be assholes.
Yeah,
but I think that's more because that's the CHP way than it is a Marine way.
To this podcast, that actually means grandpa. And then Colton's like, we're good with that. So
what
I said, if you've been paying attention this whole podcast, then that means grandpa in Colton's language, because that's what I want to be called as a grandpa.
Yeah,
that's right.
I will say that I've seen some guys that come from the military, and they're like, okay, like I know what rank structure is. I know that I'm not going to agree with everything admin says, but I have to go with it because that's what admin says. And then versus the people who've never had a spot of military in their life, they're like, well, I had somebody call me a butthead today, so I'm going to go all the way to the major. Why? If
a coworker?
Yeah. If all you need to do is vent, then fucking vent to somebody. Don't go straight to the major.
Man, I think I spent a whole hour at your sheriff's headquarters, and I figured out that wouldn't fly there. So that's weird.
So there's nuances to it.
I think I met your boss and the sheriff.
Yeah, probably.
That day.
The bald one with the goatee. Okay. Well,
he walked in and he looked like the sheriff from Muskogee County, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
and then definitely your boss.
Hey, how many times a shift do you guys listen to Merle Haggard?
To Merle Haggard?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. I don't know about other people on my shift. But I'm usually listening to like Sleep Token, or my whole entire Pursuit playlist is like Pink Pony Club and everything that you wouldn't think a cop would be listening to while actively chasing somebody down. But part of that is because depending on what instructor people get in law enforcement defensive drivers training, which is what Oklahoma uses, you'll either get the instructor that's like, no radio, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, or you're going to get the instructor that like blasts some random piece of radio. And all it's doing is breaking the OODA loop enough that you're like, yes, I'm driving, but there's other stuff I need to pay attention to. Which that was my instructor. And that's why I just have like super random stuff where I'm like,
but tell Nolan what country, taking aside what you're listening to at work, what country are you listening to?
I'm listening to like lately Zach Top, Treaty Oak Revival, a little bit of Turnpike every once in a while. Red Clay Strays has been a big one. Red Clay Strays and Muscadine Bloodline have been big for me lately. They're like really sad, and realistically, I love my life to the fullest. But like,
have you listened to Muscadine's EP that they came out with probably 2018-ish? It sounds like Blink-182 moved to Nashville for a few years and wrote a country album.
I have not. I don't think I've heard the whole EP.
It's got
My big ones from them are Port Swing Angel, 1090, and the one everybody knows, Me on You.
Oh yeah. No, they got one called WD-40, which is fantastic, and then that so that EP is CB Radio, WD-40, Jenny is on it, and there's something. Fuck, what's the one about having a shitty dad? It's I could sing the chorus, but I can't remember the name of the song. Something about fishing with your dad. But it's
Just Fishing by Trace Adkins, everybody.
yeah. No, it's not that. Here, go back. I'll point out exactly which one it is. Go up. No. Singles and EPs. Go down. Keep going.
That sounds like it would be one.
Keep going. There it is. Self-titled.
Oh, self-titled.
Yep. Nope. It's the one with their name, 2017.
Oh. CB Radio, WD-40, depending on the night.
Crickets and cane poles. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like he's standing at his dad's funeral and he doesn't have a good thing to say about him. But so he talks about when they used to go fishing and they would just sit in silence, but that was the only time he ever spent with his dad. And then talked about how he wants to be a better father after that. Really good. But that one, and then you mentioned Turnpike. So Turnpike was supposed to be playing in Fresno on the 9th when the Tap Takeover is. And their show got postponed to October, and supposed to go to San Diego that weekend. So I got to figure out details to figure out if I could fly out first thing Saturday morning instead of driving down with everybody on Friday, because I really don't want to miss that show. God, I love Turnpike Troubadours.
Speaking of shows you don't want to miss, Pecos and the Rooftops. Real good band to go see live, unless you're trying to take a shit, and somewhere like the BOK Center in Tulsa, because the bass line that they use will rattle the door open.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was sitting there, and somebody got real excited that the stall opened and saw me like
insufficient latch problem,
Yeah.
lock problem.
It was a little short.
Yeah.
In that case, it was the size of the boat that mattered.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I took a shit. I took a shit at Double L on a Friday night one time, and we had to leave the bar.
Oh, wow.
As I walked out, there was a line of 10 guys waiting to do cocaine in that bathroom. I was the person in the only stall.
Did you do the rodeo on Saturday?
No, we didn't.
Oh, too bad. We went. We went on Friday.
I put my antisocial wife and even more antisocial sister-in-law on the big screen, because the rodeo clown that was there, he's like, let's do the slowest wave ever. And they get to me and I do some spirit fingers bullshit. And he stopped the entire thing. He said, wait.
Go back.
This guy right here.
He does the Gumby thing that in front of every car dealership, basically.
And
This rodeo clown, I've been following him and watching his videos for over 5 years. Like, I'm a fan of his, and I had no idea he was there. And the fact that Jeff got his attention, my mouth was on the floor.
Yeah, she was not happy.
Clovis Rodeo had a flyover, and one of the jets, when they were banking over the Sierras, the canopy flew off.
oh no.
What?
Yeah.
Oh god.
That is a metaphor. That is a metaphor for the military right now. Good Lord.
Yeah. It was a problem, apparently.
So, yeah, Friday night, only one cowboy rode a bull and scored. He got an 88.
That's how every rodeo is. If I'm being honest.
The last bull rider.
The last
of
dude,
the
and he was a full-on PBR dude.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
got to.
most of them were.
Most of the times you go to...
He was a PBR finalist in Vegas.
I gotta say, I've been to quite a few rodeos at this point. Most of the guys don't make points. I was like, I don't mean,
unless they're Brazilian.
Or Mexican.
So
Or
I
Mexican.
was just talking
Jeff
about
just
it.
showed me
Have
a
you seen
video
the
of the
videos?
Mexican dudes?
Yeah, like the Mexican dudes and these Brazilian dudes. The video I showed Tim earlier it's this like Mexican abuelo smoking a cigarette, beer belly hanging out, hops on a bull, nothing but his legs, and rides it the entire fucking however long that they go for.
Mexico.
Love the rodeo, though. It was fun.
Most of cowboy culture
got-
comes from Mexico.
Love the mutton racing or whatever it was.
the mutton busting.
Mutton busting was fun. The girl ran for like 9-10 seconds.
You guys should have tossed Emmy on there, bro.
She would have done well if she'd gone. And then
We're
the
gonna start
barrel
tossing
racing.
guys
Barrel racing was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that.
No, rodeos are great.
Impressed by there was one lady who lost her hat, but everybody else, how the hell do they keep their hat on?
It's pinned.
Bobby pin.
And then Audrey did the flag thing too.
Yeah, she used to run.
Yeah, the group that did that at the start was impressive. I'm like, that's what Audrey used to do.
Did they get the real impressive one? And Audrey hates that I say it, but if they have the Mexican drill teams that come out and do it.
They did not.
They have that because they ride side saddle the whole time.
Oh, they did not do that.
So they ride side saddle, and then there's usually, when the girls are doing that, there's usually a vaquero in the middle who's doing the rope thing that's also having his horse jump through it in the middle and all that kind of stuff. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
Mexican drill teams are hard.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen them before too.
to see them another time, I was impressed enough with the
I think
crackers
they're
that were
out.
doing
It
it.
was like, if you ever go out to the Wood Lake Rodeo, that one's always on Mother's Day, and they do that out there for that.
I got to see the trick roping and left right before the motorcycle barrel racing.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, we only left because I got robbed for the fan of the night.
Now we left because we had a kid that needed to go home, but
He was passed out.
he was passed out. But it was fun.
I recommend going to rodeos if you've never been.
Jeff kept getting beers from a random person.
Oh yeah, he was so enthused by my
Win.
energy throughout that.
Win.
Uh-huh.
Absolute win.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, bro, I love your energy. What are you drinking, bro? I'll spot your beer. I was like, Ultra.
It wasn't quite like that. He was a Mexican, but he enjoyed his energy for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently his girlfriend
Got
came up
like
after the fact.
3
He's like, he
MGDs.
wanted to do that, but he
not
just
MGDs.
couldn't.
Dude, when people hype you up and give you beer, it's like the greatest.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
much
I've
better.
I've only ever had it one time in my life, and it was at a bar in downtown Tulare. And Nolan and I.
Is it the Rockin' Horse?
No, it was at Barmageddon.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yes.
And they were adamant that Nolan and I were the greatest video game players that they had ever seen in their lives.
I see that.
We are fucking hammered. Playing in 2 different video game tournaments at 2 different establishments. Running back and forth.
Not intentionally playing in the one that people are buying us beers for. We stopped in there for beers, and they're playing Call of Duty on the screen, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna throw on this Call of Duty tournament." And Nolan and I are playing by special rules, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so fucking good." And we're like, "No, we're not. Golly, we're terrible at this."
No,
game."
we- we just handicap ourselves.
Yeah. But golly, were we running through those guys? So they started buying us IPAs. They were like, "What are you guys drinking?" And they bought us a pitcher
Yeah.
of IPAs to get us to keep drinking and not win the tournament. And I ended up losing. Nolan and I played each other in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And I knocked Nolan out. It was a close game. And then we get to the finals, and I handicapped myself and ended up losing to the guy. But that was okay. We had no idea this whole thing was going on. It was just, we were here for beers.
My favorite, so at summer camp, on Mondays we would have a rodeo, and there was 1 week, it was a full-blown rodeo. There was steer wrestling, there was bronc riding, the kids would try and get a ribbon off the tail of a little heifer running around and stuff, and it was a good time. But there was 1 week where it got rained out, and so the staff decided to put on an indoor rodeo for everybody, where it was just being goofy. And I got I got assigned to be the bull that one of the staffers hopped on my back. I had to try and get him off.
Nice.
And it was a blast.
Nice.
All-time favorite camp memory was indoor rodeo night in a mildewy smelling basement. So, yeah. Shout out to rodeos. Go see one.
Yeah. The last time I had alcohol bought for me was Marine Corps ball after party
Oh dear.
I've seen those
I
pictures.
remember
at
that.
Rookies. And it was the gayest of gay men. But at the time, I didn't care because I was already
Must have
3
been
or
in the Navy.
4. Well, we are a Department of the Navy.
We know. They sign your checks.
I was 3 or 4 Jack and Cokes, plus however many ultras I had, plus the 2 or 3 pulls of vodka. And then we get there and I'm stealing my buddy's
That was at
AMFs
the
all night
casino.
long. No, at the casino, that was tame. That's just when I was drunk enough to not realize you wanted my keys instead of a handshake.
And you threw
No,
up.
this was the next year.
The next year.
Yeah, the next year when I got blacked out.
Oh,
fucking
okay.
drunk.
That's right. That's right.
And the gay guys were buying my beers all night, and it was awesome. And then I realized that the gay guys wanted my booty hole, and so I said, "I gotta go."
No, you just say no. That's the Eric Pedersen and Connor Martin thing. Both of them have been known for going to gay bars in Los Angeles and having gay men buy them drinks all night. And then at the end of the night, you just go, no thanks. That's it. I was like, wow.
Eric, when we went to the NASCAR championship race, Eric bailed on me. Sunday night after the race, we're leaving Monday. We got pretty tuned up at the race. We were drinking all day. And we went back to the hotel, and the hotel had a dive bar attached to it. So I was like, the whole way back, oh yeah, we're going to go over to the bar. We'll drink, hang out. It'll be a great time. And then we get back to the hotel room, and Eric does what Eric does, and he went and fell asleep. And as he's falling asleep, I said, dude, come on. No, do not go to sleep. Let's go to the bar. He said, let me sleep for 20 minutes, and then I'll meet you there. I said, you're not going to sleep for 20 minutes. And he said, yes, you could stay and wake me up. All right. Fall asleep. I say, all right, 20 minutes. Let's go. He said, all right, I'm up. And he stood up. And he said, you go ahead. I'll meet you there. I said, all right, I'll meet you there. Never showed up. So I started hanging out with these 2 mid-60s gay men that were there for the NASCAR race because they're big NASCAR fans. And they bought me drinks all night long, and it was a blast. And they didn't even proposition me or nothing. They knew what I was about. They just wanted to hang out with me. It was great. I was a little offended that they didn't want. Yeah. A little something.
That's an episode of Seinfeld.
Sorry.
I'm a little offended. How did you know? I did have one IPA at the
Sticks around.
rodeo, and then I couldn't do it because it was space dust.
Yeah.
I had about a quarter left, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I mean, I finished it off, but it was ultra the rest of the night.
I make that mistake every single time I go to the Thunder Bowl.
Oh.
You drink a space dust,
I drink one space
and then you're
dust,
like, poof,
and
this
I'm
is
just
just
like,
trash.
oh, I can't do
It's
this.
work.
Well, like, the problem is I'm drinking all night long.
Well, and I knew I was going to drink 3 or 4 more beers. So I had already told myself I'll have like maybe 1 or 2, and then I'll go somewhere else. But I couldn't even get through that. It was just
I
terrible.
can't remember the last time I had a space dust.
It was so
I don't do
bad.
that one. The one that I usually do is because it's all that they have or whatever. I haven't had this situation happen to me in a while, but used to be Mind Haze was that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a minute there where my days was the
That's
IPA.
still
Yeah.
it's still the thing in Tulare, in some parts of Tulare.
You know.
Bravo's one of them. Well,
Bro.
yep.
Oh, I got a great video of somebody drinking a couple of Mind Hazes. It's actually not my video. There's a video that Nolan has of Alec absolutely ralphing in my trash can at the Apricot house from drinking too many of those too quickly.
Well,
It wasn't
remember-
even like he was drunk.
You
It was
remember
just
when
like
Scott
just
Cooper-
was too full.
Scott Cooper would hang out with like Alec and
Yeah.
all them. I still have the video of the time he got way too fucking drunk and I stuck a tree branch down his ass crack that was always hanging out.
Interesting.
And I said, the demon woke up because as soon as it touched him, I was like, ah!
Dude, I pissed Scott off like nobody you've ever seen once. Yeah.
Be trash talking how much weed he smokes, or
No.
is that an
No,
off-air kind of story?
You just make fun of Superman. That's all it takes.
Oh yeah,
And then, you make fun of Superman and call him gay. That's all you need to do.
He was dogging his girl or his sister's boyfriend. He was dogging his sister's boyfriend for being a piece of shit, like
Skater boy.
Yeah. And I just pointed out there was a little. I said, "Who are you talking about, dude?" And he didn't like that. And I haven't talked to him since then.
A long time ago.
That was. Now I sleep in his old bedroom.
That's right.
Really?
Mhm.
Sick. Anything else?
No.
All right, I'm going to circle it back to the video. So the lesson of the video is if you're offended, if you're a Catholic and you're offended by the Catholic Church not doing anything, then you're not supposed to vote anymore. And if you're an Epstein voter and you're upset about that, then you should not go to church anymore. I think that's what we're trying to say. So, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I mean, don't
Start church somewhere else.
don't trust the Catholic Church or the government is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why our country is wallowing in cynicism and skepticism.
The
It's
government
not
does it 'cause they're
unearned.
pedophiles. The Catholics do it because they're married to the church, and technically the altar boys are part of the church.
Okay, actually, I was going to wrap this up, but this reminded me. That video does concern me. Just, I'm being serious here for a minute. Colton and I have talked before about how many of us would know if Jesus came back.
And
For a variety of reasons, but I would say the main reason is we're so skeptical and everything seems like it, like we're reluctant to believe anything because of not just AI, but just anything. It's too good to be true. Like when I say us, I mean, it's the thing that I've kind of started thinking, I kind of keeps me up at night. Like, how would I know if he started, if he's back and doing his, because I'm going to assume it's somewhere in Africa and South America. It's not going to be walking down the streets of the Middle East or Europe or United States, but we're just such a upside down world. I don't know.
The last time he was here, he chose the center of culture and politics.
Maybe he would. Yeah, I guess from that argument he would, but I don't know. But I mean, that doesn't make it. I mean, that makes it even worse though. Like, how many of us would be skeptical? It's just this is some dude doing a gag, or we're waiting him to be found out to be a fraud. So,
if you want to find somebody that's claiming to be him, just go down to LA. You'll find somebody with a sign that says "I'm Jesus."
why would you go down to LA? You could probably just go down to downtown Tulare. You're bound to find a homeless guy that's like, "I'm Jesus."
Yeah.
We had a guy in Muskogee for the longest
well,
time.
I
It's
don't
like,
think the guy's gonna be saying he's Jesus. That's the thing. But
It's Jesus.
What a way to close it.
how does Jesus rules, baby?
Jesus Christ.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of Go to Hell Podcast. And if you don't like rodeos, then go see one. And if you don't like it, then you can go to hell.